Where do we even start?
I think that needed a minute's silence when you've got more injuries than goals kicked today.
6 weeks ago, we were second. 6 weeks ago, we were flying. We were all on cloud 9. We were 6 points clear of third spot. Fast forward 6 weeks, and Carlton has done what only Carlton can do. We are now outside the 8 with 2 rounds to go. We got absolutely thumped by Hawthorn. Not just goal here or there, 2 goals, 3 goals. It was this or that. It was 5 goals, 38. Carlton to the Hawks 16, 112. They kicked more behinds than we did total score. 5-8. Like, where do you start? Where should we start?
Trash.
The whole day was a fuss. The whole day. We'll talk about the game. Start from before the game. Another Bubblegate, if you call it.
Bubblegate episode 2.
It's come Hawthorn fans as well. Come scan the QR code. Yeah, jump in. What are they going on? Carl, you showed it before on eBay, a couple $100. When I couldn't care less, right? Like, this is just for a laugh, right? But for the kids that are lining up and want to get them, and parents going for their kids, not let's show your membership and claim your bobblehead or do it at a game. Shout out to John Holden, who we saw in the line, absolute legend. But John made a good point. Do it at a Gold Coast or a GWS game when there's no away fans, pretty much, and reward the paying members that are coming to watch. 84,000 came on Sunday, but no, that's fine. Let's give them to Hawthorn fans as well. No dramas. Everyone's welcome. I know I don't care if it's run by Hyundai or whoever, right? It's governed by the club. Already a shit show, right? And then you got 22 bobbleheads out in the field that come out.
Well, Pip.
I'll fucking give him my bobblehead, mate. I'm skip me for now.
Carl.
Look, what do you even say? Me and George were confident. Oh, way confident. You know what? Spit on me. Spit on me for being confident. Spit on my face. Actually thought, these blokes are going to come in and show something. Showed nothing. No heart, nothing. What do you even say? Like, speechless. What are you feeling, Andy? Talk to us.
Well, like you said, what do you say? Everything to fucking play for. Everything. Got finals on the line. The club loves a fucking pointless celebration. Let's celebrate 160 years. Cool, bro. Let's celebrate 160 years. Let's give them some bobbleheads. Sweet, bro. We'll take bobbleheads. Let's put in the worst performance these fans, these fucking paying members have seen for years. On a special day. They are a fucking embarrassment to that OG Guernsey. Think about the legends that have worn that fucking monogram with that old school Guernsey over the years. The fucking blood, the sweat, the fucking premierships. And we fucking put that up. We put that up. That fucking bullshit. I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it.
You called it.
I called it, and I put my fucking money where my mouth is, and I've never been more devastated to win money in my life. Because I love this football club. We all love this football club. And repeatedly, this club lets us down. Repeatedly. They found so many different ways to do it. The players don't give a fuck. Yesterday's performance reminded me of that game against Essendon last year. It just had so many moments. A couple of boys ran into each other. I think it happened twice. Just no talk. I knew we were fucked. I knew that my bet was coming up from goal one. From goal one, where Nick Newman left his opponent, because why would you defend as a defender? Left his opponent and tried to be hero and run down the field, got sucked into the play, and then we copped the goal over the back. And then we proceeded to just guard grass for the next 2 hours. It took us to be down by, I don't know, 8-9 goals before Voss thought, maybe we should man up. Maybe we should set up a one-on-one defense. But for now, before that, it was, no, you just guard that grass over there. You guard that empty bit of grass over there, and then just give Hawthorn all the space they need in the forward line. I said a few weeks ago that the ladder lied when we were second, and we were only second and in the top 4 and around there because of other results, not because of the way we were playing. It was because other results went our way, and the ladder lied. Michael Voss said earlier in the year, the ladder doesn't lie. Well, Michael Voss, you're a fucking liar yourself, because the ladder lied when we weren't a top 2 side. And you know what? Welcome to Carlton now, because now you're about to feel the proper brunt of a fan base who's been gaslighted and lied to for fucking 30 years. And the pressure has to be on now, because week after week, it's been fucking coaching for me. Coaching and selection.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. What we saw on field was unacceptable from the players. Lack of effort, lack of desire, lack of want. This isn't the first time we've mentioned those words. I don't know, man. If you just let me keep talking, I'll talk for another 4 hours. Someone else.
Matt,
Sorry, boys.
You said what was it? It was selection and coaching. Selection is probably the big one for me, because I didn't get the opportunity to watch the game properly because I had the golf tournament. But
Lucky you.
Yeah, lucky me. It ended up actually being a blessing in disguise. Because when I looked at this draw 6 weeks ago or 7 weeks ago, when I looked to book this in, it was, it's Hawks. No worries, we're second on the ladder. Hawks won't be a problem. It'll probably be a dead rubber by that point anyway. I get to sat there. I'm like, fuck, I shouldn't have booked it on this day. But thankfully, I didn't rock up and didn't have to witness that. Because I tried to watch 2 or 3 quarters earlier today. What the fuck was that? The stark difference between us and Hawthorn, it's like this. It's literally like this. The speed at which Hawthorn move the ball is amazing to watch. We have more talent on our list, on our playing list, than what Hawthorn does. I wholeheartedly believe that. But there is something seriously wrong at the core, at the foundation of this football club. And I don't know what the fuck it is. But selection, if we pick on one thing, and let's go selection for me, why are we playing injured players?
Desperation.
Or injury-prone players? Why are we risking Charlie Curnow? When some results fell our way, some results didn't over the weekend, but realistically, in hindsight, this game wasn't a be-all, end-all. Like, finals is still on the cards for us. As much as I fucking hate saying that, finals are still on the cards.
For what?
No, it's not for what. But this wasn't a duel. This wasn't a we have to win or we're out of finals. Why risk Curnow? Why risk him?
This has been a problem for years, though, Jamal. This has been a problem for years, right? So we took a couple of years off Matty Cruz's career by playing him injured. This has been a problem for a very long time in the club, right? So, Injuries are a concern, yes, right? We'll talk about that. But if you zoom out and look at the bigger picture, especially this year, the club should now put its hand up and say, hey, whatever we did in the preseason, the fitness program or the high-intensity block, whatever the fuck you want to call it, we failed. Put your hand up. We failed at. We stuffed up. Yes, we planned around the opening round and an early bye after round 2 or whatever it was. We failed at. Now, with failing that, and then also persisting with continuous injured players, mismanaging injured players that are not 100%, people are already losing their job and more to come. There's more to come, right? You're telling me that, so obviously we'll talk about Andrew Russell, but Brad Lloyd, head of football department and whatnot, there will be, heads will roll, right? Put your hand up and say, we stuffed up. Andrew Russell's got a few weeks left. He's got a hell of a job on his hands now. What, 17 injured players and growing.
Would he even care?
Exactly. Why is he going to care?
Think about it. If you've got a couple of weeks to go at your job, you're not really giving a fuck.
And allegedly he's at, allegedly he's at loggerheads with I guess the Voss and the board and whatnot in terms of players at the club and who should be there and with the direction they're going in, which is why it was, I guess, a mutual separation, I guess. But this has been an issue for a very long time. Like the mismanagement and continuous mismanagement in game. Jordan Boyd. So we stayed till the end, right? We watched it. That was burnt in my eyes, right? We all stayed till the final siren.
That deserves a round of applause to stay till the end of that game. 74 points, and for the fact that you guys stayed, deserves an applause. Seriously, that's impressive.
I don't think we had the motivation to get up.
And it was, I to be honest, the fourth quarter was a blur for me. Like I was that angry. I remember, the heart was racing. I was that angry. I don't recall many passages of play purely because I was thinking, what the hell's going on, right? What's happened to our club? And then going home, and I don't know what kind of, I'm just a sicko, right? Let me just watch the replay because I'm a fucking sicko, right? Mm-hmm. Put it on and just see the mismanagement and the mistreatment of Jordan Boyd, right? Okay, now 60 minutes, 0 touches, okay? I'm not blaming him, right? Because he tried to run, and every time he tried to run, he'd pull up. Like, so I think he got injured in the first quarter, a duct or whatever it was. Bring him on in the second, bring him on in third, throw him at full forward, just leave him in the square because he can't run. Just leave him there. I'd rather play with 17. Like, what are we doing?
Not even a tackle. Nothing.
You know, like when after the game, I was in your boat, George. I don't blame Jordan Boyd. He was injured. You're on the fucking field for an hour, bro. Touch the fucking ball. Bloke's worried about painting his nails. Touch the fucking ball. How do you not touch the fucking ball once, bro? Carl, you're right. How do you not tackle a player? How do you not fucking go near someone? Touch the fucking ball, bro. All right, you got a fuck knee. Sweet. Dipper played with a punctured lung. Do you know what I mean? Like, we're so soft. We're so fucking soft. We bullied teams last year. Last year, we only did what we did because we bullied teams. We fucking scared teams. We are playing like we're scared now. We are fucking spooked. We are spooked. I don't know what happened at the GWS game, but at quarter time, something changed, and we are playing like we are scared. We are fucking spooked. And to me, I think we've built this fucking culture at the club where everybody is entitled. We keep banging on about how Wiedering deserves All-Australian and how dare the All-Australian selection committee not give All-Australian. Who gives a fuck? Who actually gives a fuck? We are not seeing team success. We called Tom de Koning King. That's a pretty full-on nickname to give to a kid, right? Jesse Motlop runs around like he's untouchable. We've got Jordan Boyd, who absolutely loves to paint his nails and give us a post. Charlie Curnow loves to post his watches on fucking Instagram after a fucking heartbreaking loss against Collingwood. The club culture, we've got this culture at our club where it's okay to be soft. Could you imagine Sam Mitchell telling his boys yesterday, take it easy on them. Take it easy, they're hurt. They laughed at us after the game. That Whittle guy.
He's a kid.
Yeah, he's a kid.
He's a kid.
But that's what Carlton represents to the AFL. that we don't work hard enough. We've said this for weeks, that we don't work hard enough. If we're clueless, right? We're not in the rooms. We don't know what the coaches are talking about. We don't know nothing yet. No one in the chat. We're all dumb. All of us. We don't know nothing about footy. We can all see that the team doesn't work hard enough. What the fuck are the coaches doing about it? What are the players doing about it? What are the leaders doing about it? Charlie Kerner only played because he wants the Coleman. No one can tell me otherwise. No one can tell me otherwise. Harry's in. Why was it okay for Harry to be out with sickness, but Charlie couldn't walk? I saw him in the warm-up. He was struggling in the warm-up. But he had to play. He had to play. Now, he put himself first over the team. And you know what? If it paid off and he kicked 6, sweet, bro. It paid off. But when it doesn't work, you know what? You got to get called out. And I don't give a fuck anymore, bro. I'm sick of people telling me, you're too hard on Charlie. You're too hard on Charlie. He's going to win us games. He's won us games.
He's done nothing.
He's had a fucking shit year, man. The only reason why he was leading the Coleman is because of our fucking shit game style of just kicking it long to him. That's it.
Yep.
That's it. It's not like GWS. Jesse Hogan has kicked very accurately. Jesse Hogan plays in a forward line where other forwards work for him. We've got no structure in our forward line. Jordan Russell, I think, is that who our forwards coach is? Jordan Russell?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Okay. He should never work a day in his life again, anything to do with football. Anything. If this is his output, what we've done in our forward line this season, then he should never get a job again at any football club, not even a local one. And I hope he's watching this, and I hope you're watching this, and I hope I'm hurting your feelings, and I hope you're saying this guy knows nothing about footy. But the players and the team, the coaches need to hear the fans at this point. Stop gaslighting us. Stop fucking releasing these videos every week. Bro, fans are losing their minds. We're getting belted every week. We're losing games every week. We literally witnessed us bottle the fucking season from second spot to now out of the 8, right?
Yep.
And we've said this every week. We are watching our season slip away. And you know what these guys are posting? They're posting fucking these players having interviews. What's your favorite color? Who's the most annoying teammate? Who gives a fuck? Win a game, bro. Play the fucking game. Show me effort on the field. I don't give a fuck if Nick Newman's funny. Like, where the fuck are our priorities as a football club? I just, for weeks now, to this fucking sick-minded Arab, I don't see where our priorities lie. Like, we're so off the fucking mark compared to these professional sides. John Longmire came out after they got pumped by Port Adelaide and called it unacceptable and lost his fucking mind. We played 10 minutes of good footy against, not even good footy, Collingwood just got tired. And it fucking showed that they got tired because they did the same thing against Sydney. We didn't start to play good. No. They just got tired. But after that game, Michael Voss came out and said he was fucking proud. What the fuck kind of message is that to send to your fucking members? That we're proud. We're proud of the boys for trying. Trying is a fucking non-negotiable. Sorry, boys.
But forget about that, sending it to your members. What message is he sending to his players? If he's telling them he's proud. So we're proud to lose. Me and George were talking, was it 3/4 time or half time? And George, we just looked at each other and he's like, you know what? I can't wait for the end of the season. I'm just tired, man. I'm tired. I can't wait. 6 months off, 8 months off, 7 months, whatever it is, man. We're tired. We're drained. They sell us all this hope, and people get G'd up, and they worry about this and they worry about that, and then for what? Look how quick it crashed down, like instantly. We're in this shithole again. You look at Hawthorn, free pick, was it 13, 14, and 15? They went downhill for a bit, and look at them now. They're already better than us. We almost got to rebuild.
It's exhausting. It's exhausting, Carl. I said it, like I to the Carlton fans that are overly positive. Oh, we're still mathematically in the race and this and that, mate. Stop. Yes, mathematically in the race. Guess what? It's not on our hands. You need Freo to lose or whatever. Like to make up the numbers and go to GWS and get flogged. going back to what you said, Andy, the quarter time at GWS, what happened at quarter? It's the same question we asked last year. What happened or what was said at quarter time against Gold Coast, and the club completely turned it around? And it's the stark opposite this year, where you go there and it's seemingly not a fluke, but I question everything now. I question my whole life now, right? I don't know anything about it. This club has just made me question everything. Was it an illusion? Was it a mirage? Right? You got a 5 or a 6 goal lead against GWS. What happened? And every week, like I don't know about you boys, but game day anxiety. I've never even known what anxiety feels like. I don't know what these are. For me, growing up, these are made up terms. Anxiety, depression. These are made up terms, right? They don't exist. Growing up in Middle Eastern households, you can, you guys know those terms are just like grow up, don't be a bitch. Right?
Yeah, depression was cured with a slap in the face.
Depression was cured with 7-Up, bro. 7-Up is the cure to everything. That was the cure, right? But anyway, I feel anxious on game day. I get to the game, I can't get comfortable. We get a fight. Who feels comfortable when we're 5 goals up? I don't.
No.
If anything, we get more nervous.
Mate,
because we have to think of the ways that we've actually fucked up the 5-goal lead.
And everyone's like, let it go and let this thing. How, man? How? Tell me how. Tell me how. Show me the way, because every weekend, like and after the game, I said it. I'm emotionally depleted. I'm tired, man. Yeah. Like the ups and downs of this club, and I'm with them. I fucking ride to death with them, right? I don't care. I'll fly into state, right? We'll do it. We stay to the end. All that kind of stuff. Right? Front up, but. I miss enjoying my weekends. I don't enjoy my weekends anymore. I swear to you, I don't. Even when we're winning. And again, someone called up, I think it was SEN, and they said Carlton fans are never happy. And I agree with that somewhat. I agree with that, right? They say when they're down, and then they'll blame the coaches and the players and this and that. And then when they're up and they win by 4 goals, they said that we should have won by 10 or whatnot. I agree with that somewhat, but there's so many ups and downs and gaslighting and mind fucking with this team. I don't know what to feel anymore. I don't know what's real or not anymore. In 2022, when we had to win, I think it was 1 out of the last 4 games, and we lost all 4, right? And then the media and even general around the fan base, yes, it was a bit of a bottling because, we were hanging around the 8 all season, but it's like there's a young and experienced side. None of them have tasted finals. Better luck next year, right? Was the rhetoric. Fair. You get to 2023, you have a bad patch. You pull the finger out and we go on an insane run. All the way to the prelims. Well done. Amazing, right? You get to this year and you think, okay, we need to get to the same place or better. But it starts with a home and away season. Don't worry about September at this stage. It starts with a home and away season. You get a few games in, you have a couple of bad losses, right? A couple of unexpected losses, whatever it was, Geelong, Adelaide, whatnot. You get a bit of a touch-up from Sydney. You get through a bad patch with injuries, and you still beat some of the top teams, and you land in second, and you're thinking, geez, and then the famous last words, easiest run home, right? They talk about easiest run home. And you completely shit the bed or you bottle it, right? And what's the excuse though? Like you tasted finals. Yes, injuries play a part, I guess, as well. But effort is a non-negotiable. Trying is a non-negotiable. Coaching, Brian Cook made it public and said, Voss needs support around him and whatnot. And then the media play on it and they have a laugh about it, right? They zoom up to the box. And they say, oh, have a look at the Brains Trust up there in the box. You got Hansen, you got Cruiser, you got Hamill, you got Jordan Russell, whatnot. And then Voss is the king of this on the sidelines. He's the king of just crossing just like this, right? Crossing his arms. So for this year, I don't have an answer, right? It's all an illusion. It's all a mirage. You can explain maybe the last couple of years, but this is fucked. When you come out of a game with more injuries than goals, I don't think I've ever heard of that. We've set another embarrassing record, right? before the game, they're talking about 160 years, history. Wow, we've got a collar. We've got a collar. Let's celebrate the collar on the jersey, right? How we win flags every decade. Next year is 30 years. That's more than one generation.
Can I ask a question? I had this chat. I went on fan cams the other night. I spoke to Terry. And he brought up a good point. And I want to kind of build on that point. Do you guys think that we are burdened by the past? Do you think that the club is burdened by our history?
As in, are you saying it's a real unrealistic expectation, and they try to live up to it, and we can't? Is that? So I'll give you my opinion. It's harder to explain what I mean without giving an opinion. I think that we are just dead set living, trying to reach those expectations of the past. Exactly. The club needs to stop dwelling on the past. Yes, we've won 16 flags, and that should be celebrated, absolutely. But we haven't won one in 30 fucking years. You're showing 160 years of whatever. Mate, just fucking try to win. Just try to get to a contest. I watched a fucking video yesterday that was the perfect summary of our game yesterday. And it was, someone posted it on one of the Carlton pages on Facebook. And I try to avoid all social media when we lose because it gets fucking brutal. I don't know about you boys, but I get fucking private messages from a lot of Collingwood supporters. People that don't even know me, but they feel like they need to inbox me. I got
so
my
if any of
number
you are
registered.
watching, fucking, mate.
Someone registered my number for Beyond Blue and Suicide Watch.
I believe it. But Mark Pitternet lost the contest and his direct opponent ran. Pitto took two, I won't say quick steps, but he took 2 steps and then just stopped while his opponent just ran. And if that doesn't epitomize yesterday, mate, you can say they were tired. These are professional fucking athletes. We'd be tired running out a game, but these are professional athletes. These guys are getting paid 6 figures. Some of them 7. They should be able to run out a game. They don't have to win, but effort and the actual fitness to do so should be a non-negotiable as a professional athlete. I think that's what people forget. These are professionals. Everyone's like, oh, but they're only human. These are professional athletes. These are supposed to be the best in the country at what they do. Remember that.
Elite, supposedly.
Bring in the kids. We've been saying it for weeks now.
So this is what I'm asking. Do you guys think that the club is burdened by the past? Do you think we put too much value on the past?
Probably.
Do you think it's hurting the current team?
I don't think it should, though.
To be honest, I don't think the team really gives a fuck about it. I don't think the team gives a fuck about the jumper that they're wearing. Because if they did, then maybe they might play with a bit more pride, with a bit more passion. Because what we saw on the weekend had none of that. Had none of it.
I'm not going to speak for them, but I don't think like a Jesse Motlop gives a shit about a Wayne Harms or a Jezelenko or a Matty Kennedy cares about Dean Rice. Well, I don't think they do.
Don't even know who they are.
So maybe that's why this is the thing, right? Australian sport, culture, history, it's enriched in the AFL, the clubs. You can't just do you separate that and say, nah, stay away, or you can't. That's what the whole what do they call it? Spirit of Carlton or whatever the fuck it is. That's what that's built on, right? Do you not roll these guys out and give a guard of honor and get them to do speeches and this, and then we'll turn around and say, well, before Carlton Collingwood, you should get someone that knows the fixture to come and tell them about the significance of it. So it's a double-edged sword. I wish I had an answer for it. I just like
what? Maybe those past players should have jumped on and had a crack. That would probably show more effort.
I feel sorry for them.
That's
This was
embarrassing.
supposed to be a tribute match to those guys who bled for the club, who bled for the fucking monogram, and we put up that. The fuck out of here, man!
Embarrassing performance.
We've got two waiting in the back room. We'll start to get them on.
This is going to be a long show, by the way. Hit the like button if you haven't already. And
Hit the
before we
fucking
do,
like button, man.
it's half an hour in. There's going to be a long show. Let me quickly give a shout out as well, firstly, to our sponsor before you get a couple guests in. Big thank you to BluesCrypto.com, of course, as well, for getting around us. If you haven't checked out BluesCrypto.com, get around to the website and all the socials. Big thank you to Ura, the man behind Blues Crypto. As a fan token, it provides an innovative way to connect with your team while also being part of the cryptocurrency market. Ura's been part of it for a very long time in the crypto world, in the IT world for a very long time. An absolute gentleman and a big Carlton man. You can catch him every Wednesday, 9 p.m. on his YouTube channel. Go to bluescrypto.com for all the socials, as well as our video description that's got all the links there as well. Thank you to Ura and bluescrypto.com.
I'll send the link again in the chat if there's anyone else that wants to join in on the conversation. There we go. It should come up shortly. But until then, let's get the first
quick
one.
question. All right, there we go.
Oh yeah, DOS.
Good evening.
How are
I
you,
want to
mate?
ask him. I want to ask him this question.
Talk to me, Carl.
I miss you.
You.
been a while.
Reckon Voss has lost the players?
Nah, he hasn't lost the players. Players have lost
Yeah.
themselves, man. Players have lost themselves. They're lost.
What do you
They're
mean?
in
How are they lost?
they're-
What do you mean they're lost?
They don't know what they're playing for anymore.
Hmm.
They actually don't know. You're playing for the
Do you-
jumper. Are you playing for a Coleman? Are you playing for? I won't slam the Crips, but are you playing for him to get a Brownlow? What are you playing for? Playing for a flag? Are you playing for your fans? Who knows, man? Who knows?
So,
Who knows?
Are you saying it's more about individual awards once again, aside from the team goal?
Holistically, the whole team, I don't think it is, but not everyone's on board. And when one isn't on board and you can see a weak effort from one player, you get the same weak effort from another. And
It's
then
a
it just
cancer.
snowballs.
It's a
just- yeah,
cancer.
it
It spreads.
just snowballs. It snowballs, right? It just snowballs after that.
Are there any in particular that you have in mind? Players that could be causing this?
No, I guess no one that I could probably sort of single out, but there were some efforts that were like, actually, yeah, I could. Look, there were some efforts that were just not there. Like McGovern's head was so far in the ground that he didn't want to be there. Right? He didn't want to be there. He didn't want to be there.
Wait, before we get to Hollands, how funny was McGovern in defense yesterday? He was a comedy show.
He got an assist for a mark.
That was something else. Pitting
You sound like you got a fucking lisp. Get closer to the mic, man, and bring me a tea while you're at it.
Tell you how-
If anyone hasn't figured out, Voss, he's my brother. So
Long lost brother.
I've actually lost my voice since the Voss spray, Collingwood,
Yeah.
and then another one on yesterday. So I'm slowly getting it back. But like Pitting at one stage, I think it was 2 years ago, whenever it was, he was number one. Hit outs to advantage, looked amazing, right? On Sunday he looked like he was, like I said to George, he was that slow. He thought he was still playing against Darcy Cameron. Bloke was lost. He didn't know what he was doing.
reminds me of that big guy from Happy Gilmore. You know when he's when he's chasing.
Yeah,
what's his
yeah,
name?
yeah,
It looks like it reminds me of that guy when he runs.
I believe that jacket belongs to Mr. Gilmore.
Yeah.
Happy Gilmore is like porn for a mum. That's like his fucking golf. Like porn.
He's Nirvana.
Happy Gilmore is a great movie.
Brilliant.
Great movie.
Where do we go from here? I've been saying for weeks I'm not worried,
Are you worried
I know
now?
you've been telling me that you're not worried.
and he's looking at me like, "Shut up, man." There's heaps to be worried about. I'm not worried. I'm still not worried. I'm over it.
You know what? You know what DOS is? DOS is that that meme where it's like, I'm not worried, but it's a dog and the house is burning
The
around
house is
him.
on
Yeah,
That's what he. Yeah.
this is the best. This is shades of 2022. Big 2022 vibes. Like just having to relive it again. Thankfully, thank God, our season's not going to end by Collingwood. Thank God. All right.
Thank God we're already out of the 8.
Like,
It could be worse. It could end at the hands of fucking St Kilda, the most nothing club I've ever seen before. So if we win this week
probably
against
will.
West Coast,
If we win, we're
True.
going to forward line, yeah?
True.
Four forwards are gone out.
Mm.
True.
But it's all good. We're bringing Lewis Young.
Oh, that's what we'll do. We'll bring in Lewis
Yeah.
Young, probably Marchbank if he's not folded in a corner somewhere.
We'll put Kemp up
We'll-
forward and put
Bins
Cripps in
will
the back
finally
line.
get a run. Bins will
Nah,
actually
Bins-
finally get a run.
I'll be very surprised if they actually name Jackson Bins. I'd be very surprised.
Depending on how he went in the VFL, I don't know. But
Did we lose midfielders? Did we
Yeah,
lose
shit came in the
midfielders?
VFL.
Any of them? Did we actually lose any midfielders?
No, they're lost on the way again.
Bro, I'm telling you, he won't get a game.
Voss-
But
He
he'll
can't
play
play
out of
forward.
position. He'll play out of
Voss
position.
will bait him, and on Thursday night team selection or whatever, he'll be like, "Come on down, Jack Carroll." That's he'll bait him that way. He's not getting in.
Doss, it's been a pleasure. I've got a couple of others waiting, but
Go for
thank
it.
you for coming on.
Thank you, boys.
We'll see you
See you
around.
guys.
Have fun.
Thanks, bro. Who's that?
Morris.
Oh,
Morris.
turn the light on, mate.
Boys.
Stranger
Light.
than the night.
We're morning, but this is my third, fourth week of morning. I told you guys we're cooked. I kept on telling you it's season over. And I told you guys yesterday we had a run of. It's been a shit season. We had 5 weeks where we hit the ground running. Media came out second on the ladder. And what was the difference? Our bottom 6 started playing good football. And what do? We go to them and say, we need you to tick all these boxes. They did. And all of a sudden, you throw them on the scrap heap again. And in comes your Cottrells. In comes your Motlops. And Chera is another one.
That's what changed it for me.
Yeah.
Chera and Cottrell coming in. They just
Every week, we've had 4 or 5 changes every week. There's been no stability. And you look at it, the club teases us, bro, and we're a dysfunctional organisation. I don't care what anybody says. Last year was a bluff for all of us, okay? Our recruiting, and Andy, I've told you many times, our recruiting is so wrong. You take look at our draft picks. Like last year, we take a kid that's 187 centimeters as our first pick. There's 300 of them running around in the competition. Have a look at our list. We've got 10 of the one player. Okay? We're calling. I watched the podcast, a Jumper Punch podcast, Blue Sunday. David Rees-Jones last week. David Rees-Jones was on it for about an hour. And he spoke about his days. And he spoke about how if they had a bad game, the coach would actually berate them in front of everyone, family, teammates. Now they're all loved. You know, you're not allowed to say this to him. You're not allowed to say that to him. It's a paycheck for them, boys. They don't care. We're all hurting today. You reckon they give a shit? Nah. They run off the ground laughing after the loss. You know, it's frustrating. Brad Lloyd, what's he done? What? He works off his brother's name. Like I feel for Voss because you get a little bit of intel and intel that I get is he's not able to be himself. That there's several groups within the club that is still there, where there's player dictation. Like
Really?
we'll talk Jack Carroll. Yeah. Now you go back the first two games.
Cripper, yeah?
Yeah. It's Cripper loves him. All right. Pitternet,
Cripper
the
loves him.
midfield
one
love
loves it.
working for him. I'll give you a stat about Pitternet. I've been banging on for 2 years that he should never wear the jumper again. Have a look at when Pitternet plays, we lose. Remember that stat that they had every time Fogarty played, his win record, how it was in the positive, that we at one stage we never lost? Well, with Pitternet, we don't win. You know, Andy, me and you watched, and it's not about ruck contests. Me and you watched that show last week. The Bulldogs actually
Western
play to
Bulldogs.
lose every ruck contest. That's that's what they've adopted in their play. We've got prima donnas as players. And you know what? I'm sick to death of them teasing us. They ruin like today. Today was therapy day for every Carlton supporter. And you've got the same culprits like Cripper. Like I was chatting to a mate of mine, and it was like maybe he's got to go to West Coast. Oh, actually, it was you, Andy. Okay, maybe he's got to go to West Coast and piss off from the club and do the best thing for him. Because obviously the message that he's sending goes in one ear and out the other. With the other players, you've got a handful of them. Like Kane Corns hit the nail on the head with McGovern. He's a contract player. He'll play well when his contract's up. And yesterday's performance, totally unacceptable. The only thing that I'll hang my hat on and give him an out is there was 49 interchanges. They were cooked. Yeah? But in saying that, you guys mentioned it before. They're professional athletes, yeah? Look at soccer. They'll play professional soccer in Europe. They'll play 3 matches in 5 days between league, Champions League, and that. So they train for this. And we keep going to the same well. Like, I'll tell you guys, the ends this week will be Marchbank, Lewis Young, Carroll. I got a great one for you guys. Back from injury. Had his first game in the twos. Corey Durden's back.
I'll challenge you on a couple of things, Morris. The stat about, when so-and-so plays, we win, so-and-so plays, we loses, that goes back to my point about everything being a mirage and fake, because the stat is with Orazio in the team, I think we were like 9-4 or something like that, right? And we've gone on a losing streak without him. And I rue the day that Cripps would ever leave this club, because, again, we keep talking about player entitlements and things like that as well. But this guy's broken his back for this team, but you can see he gives a shit, right? Week in, week out.
He's the only one.
The thing is, I look at different teams and their approach with their players, right? I don't think a John Longmire or a Craig McRae needs to yell and berate their players and whatnot, because the players are switched on. They understand on every line at every time what they need to do, and they're switched on from get-go to the end, right? There might be off games or whatnot. I feel like with our club, there's this coddling, that's not going to work, right? So unfortunately, yes, if it means you need to be firm on them, because that's the type of players they are, there's like a mental fragility and coddling that's accepted at the club, right? I don't think like a John Longmire would come in and coddle these players. And I'm not blaming Voss. Voss, remember that he was coached by Lee Matthews, and that whole group, I think Luke Power's still at the club as well. Luke Power was there, whatnot. Voss was one of the toughest players I've ever seen growing up, ever. Right now, I know that doesn't necessarily always translate, and we spoke about this yesterday, Morris. Being a great player doesn't necessarily mean you're a great coach.
Correct.
But and a lot of the talk has been, well, unfortunately now it's been cheap. A lot of the talk is great, but nothing's translating to things on the field. And then you hear Cook saying that we need support around Voss because Voss is learning as well. Okay, so get that support, get the proper support. And don't be coddling these players in this team because where is it getting us at the end of the day, right? They unfortunately need to hear home truths.
Yeah, and you look at the assistants around him, like I've been banging on about, like I fell off my chair when I heard we appointed Jordan Russell. He came from the Bulldogs VFL team. So he started there, and it was around their premiership era, and then he went to North Melbourne. He comes to us. We get Aaron Hamill. Now, Hamill's been in the industry for a while. We spoke yesterday. Matthew Cruz is our ruck coach. Like, he hardly played himself there, or is it we've given a mate a job? Like, you look at the other clubs, they'll go and target. Like, there's a coach sacked. There, Hawthorn, yep. St Kilda sacked Brett Radden. What does Hawthorn do? Yep, come here, come to us. Richmond do it. Collingwood do it. And if we go back to the coaches, I love Voss. I want to stick with Voss. I don't think sacking the coaches is the answer. We could get Chris Scott from Geelong. We'd still be in the same position because it's a culture thing at the club that needs to change for the coach to come out as a victor. All right. But I had a conversation with my cousin last week, and we spoke about Collingwood's premiership side last year. You look at all their Billy Frampton. Who else? There was about 5-6 players that wouldn't get a game in majority of the clubs, but they get a job to do, and it's all systems and processes that they hit. They got a job. Billy Frampton last week pushed Harry Mackay around like he was an 18-year-old kid. Now, David Rees-Jones was big on it last week. We need brute. We need someone in defense that's a monster. And that's what these guys always had. Make them shave their head.
Can I float a suggestion to you guys in the chat about defense? We've always said McGovern's a pivotal part of the defense this year for what he does for Wiedering and others, right? I felt like him and Kemp together, just the brain fades and getting sucked into contests and all that, it just hurts to watch, right? And geez, some of his decision making kicking yesterday between him and Hollands, we'll get to that, was
Hollands is a dud. Hollands is a dud. I'm just going to put that out there. Go on.
We'll get to Hollands in a sec, definitely. But that's Ollie, not Elijah, of course. But anyway,
Bubba's the best.
But would you see? We constantly do this thing about failed forwards going to defense, right? McGovern, Liam Jones, and whatnot.
Rory Lobb.
We talk Rory Lobb. We talk about needing people that give a shit are going to give 110% effort. Brutes, physical players, they're going to give 110%, right? Next year in preseason, God willing, he's all fit and doing well. The genetic DNA is there.
I called this.
Silvani.
I called this ages ago.
Do you try it? Do you do it?
100%. I said it a year ago. Why wouldn't you? Like,
it's too slow. I wouldn't.
Bro, Wiedering's
slow.
not. Wiedering ain't the quickest either. Stephen May's not the quickest. But you know, you know what, Carl? I'll challenge you on that. I actually reckon that you can even, if you don't want to put Sauce in defence, you could even put you can even turn him into a mid. I reckon
Probably.
he's got the. I reckon he's got the tank.
I
Probably
say that
better mid
because, you
than
know,
the defender.
he's going to give 110% no matter what, right? Like we've seen that with him. I just thought in defence, they're talking about Nick Haynes, you know, getting an experienced player, plug the defence, help Wiedering out. Wiedering needs all the help he can get because opposition fans know just put it through to the player who's not on Wiedering. Eventually, they'll come up trumps. They'll get a few goals. So
Let's move on.
Can I impose another question to you guys?
Hurry up, let's go. Hurry up, Morris. We've got a show to run, mate. Go on. This isn't the Morris show, mate. It's not the Monday Morris.
hey, just quickly, welcome
The
Jay.
Morris Blues.
We need brute strength. We need a monster in the back line. Then endorses Silvani. It's in the blood.
How do you guys feel on player integrity where it's the same block of guys that always get the chopping block, right? Like you look at last year when we were flying, we all turned. Remember the comments that Kemp should never be dropped?
That was me.
Yeah. Have we killed him?
How?
Where he's scared now. If he stuffs up, he's going to get dropped. Because he's probably been dropped 3-4 times this year.
He's the
He
whipping
stuffs
boy
up a
for
lot.
Voss.
Yeah.
He's the whipping boy for Voss.
Yeah.
When things go bad, it's usually his go-to. Drop Kemp. Is my mic working, by the way?
Yeah.
But once he gets dropped for a week, though. But you know what? We've been doing this for years. It's always the same players in. We never give the new kids a run. Nothing changes. Yeah. It's culture, man. It's been like this for 10 years plus. The same guys with the bigger names get a game, the rest don't. It's always been like that.
Well, there's a debut this week. Andy's
Andy.
Oh, that post. Thank you for joining, Morris.
Pleasure,
Who's
boys.
next? Have a good night, bro.
Cheers, Morris.
Cheers, bro.
Yeah, mate.
Guys.
Johnny Holden.
Johnny.
Hey, how are you, boys?
Johnny fucking Holden.
Looks familiar, this bloke.
Talks pretty well considering he eats a lot of hemorrhoid cream. He's got such a small mouth.
Good to see you yesterday, mate.
Yeah, it was good. Just in regards to that, I ended up lining up 5 times.
Can I just say the best thing about I was having a great morning, right? Lining up, seeing Johnny like come in, line up with us, right? Go back around, snag another one. We're going to the car. Johnny's like going back again. You know, I'll save you a spot.
Yeah, well, I did, and you joined the line, and we got another lot. So,
Hey, mate, Hawthorn fans were getting them. We might as well enjoy it. Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, well, you know, I got some for not just myself, but also my son. I got one for my daughter, but she didn't want one, so I ended up, you know, I'll probably end up selling them or swapping them for the ones that I don't have. So, you know,
How many did you get? I reckon you got that many. You probably turned into a bobblehead.
I got 5.
Go nuts.
But anyway, in regards to what Morris was saying, like with Kemp, the one thing I do know with Kemp, watching him with the other guys, he takes off and leaves his man a lot. And you see Wiedering constantly, not so much berate him, but get into him, like, stop leaving your man. He chases the ball. He forgets he's the defender and where his guy is, and he gets sucked into following the ball. And then all of a sudden, when it starts coming over, he panics. You can see it in his eyes. He panics, and he's constantly that 3-4 meters behind, and he fails to get there in time. In regards to like Pitto, like you were saying before about how he literally just come to a stop after a couple of steps. That was happening all day. Jesse Motlop, I reckon I saw him do it about 6 times. He just gave up. Mm-hmm. I saw Elijah give up in the 3rd quarter, but he was spent. You could tell he'd been running all day and he was just exhausted. I questioned Brad Lloyd myself. You have a look at a lot of the things that have gone wrong with this club, especially since he's been at the helm. Everyone else gets the chop except him, and he's ahead of football. He's the one who's making all these calls. Our line coaches, you're talking about Jordan Russell and that before. Like, the guy can coach. I mean, he coached. So does Aaron Hamill. But are they in the right line? That's the question. I mean, people go, "Oh, how can Hamill be a backline coach when he played forward? What would he know?" Well, he played on a backman, so he'd know what a backman did to him. A line coach, they get taught how to coach against all lines, not just where they played football at. You can't just be, "Oh, you played as a backman, therefore that's what you are." Look at Clarkson. I remember Clarkson as a player. He was a fucking spastic. He was shit. He was an absolute shit kicker. Yet he's one of the all-time great coaches. Damien Hardwick was just a hard-nosed thug, but he had that work ethic. They both had that work ethic where they had to work at it. What Andy said before, like, success breeds success. I've always believed it. How can you set an example? If I was a coach at Carlton, I have no idea what it takes to be a premiership footballer. Never done it. So how can I preach to the boys, this is what it takes to be a premiership player? I got no fucking idea. Aaron Hamill's got no idea. Jordan Russell's got no idea. I tell you who does, Justin Lepich, Michael Voss, they know what it takes. Vossi, is he being handcuffed by above? Because you look at him after, was it Geelong? He came up and basically, that's not acceptable, blah, blah, blah. And he was really hard and firm. He hasn't been that guy ever since.
Mm-hmm.
He's been humbled. And every time you can see it in his face, he wants to say something, but he can't. Has he been handcuffed from above where they've said, you can't speak that way? Because even Cripper, you saw him on the weekend with his press conference. He looked like he wanted to say more, but was handcuffed. Like, you can't say what you really want to say. Is that happening?
I felt the same with Blake Acres as well. I felt the same with Blake Acres' interview as well.
Yeah, 100%.
You could see it. Yeah,
it's a good call because you've got this. The club is about PR, so much about PR, right? That's it's the vision and the visual and the optics. That's what the club's been about, right? And it happens time and time again where they release a feel good story after a bad loss. This person signed, or have a look at this, or it's PR.
We've been down for so long. They need to keep building the club up every week, if it's not with bobbleheads or jumpers or whatever it may be. And that's fine for us supporters. Now, if that affects the playing group, we've got huge issues, because if players are thinking about jumpers with collars, 160 birthday celebration, bobbleheads being given away out the front, these guys are not the players. I'm sorry, but that's, if that's what they're thinking, oh, I didn't play well today because I didn't get a bobblehead, under my that looked like me. I've been here longer than him. Why didn't I get one? If they've got that attitude, we're in serious shit. The other thing I was going to say was, with regards to like our injuries, like we are really hamstrung with injuries at the moment. Now, we don't have much to choose from, and that's one of the biggest problems we've got. You were saying before about we keep getting rid of the same guys all the time and bringing in the same blokes like Jack Carroll and that. Well, I know for a fact, like with Binns, he gets 40 touches. He turns it over 35 times. He doesn't run backwards. He runs around like Jesse Motlop on his own, doesn't pick up his man. He's all by himself, playing all for himself, and he's been told that he can't play Binns football. It's Carlton football. And that's part of the reason why he's not going any further. He's got to learn
what I
to
heard.
play as a team, not as an individual.
And that's why I'll be surprised if he actually gets a game this week, because he doesn't know how to play any other position other than just run and do whatever you want.
And
so he'll fit right in.
Yeah.
Basically, he'll fit
I
right
reckon
in.
Lord-
But he can't do it from the back line. He can't do
No.
it from the forward line. He can't play on the wing.
No.
So, like, that's the thing. Like, if we didn't lose a midfielder, I can't see where he comes in. And if he does, then he's playing out of position.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, we might not have a choice. I mean, if they're talking like 6 and 7 players that are not going to be out this week, we've got to fill them with something. So maybe Lord, maybe Lemmy. I'd be giving Lemmy a go. Look, he's on the
Absolutely.
list. Give him an opportunity.
He
what are
won't,
we
though.
gonna do?
Absolutely. Why don't you think they will?
Because it's the same shit. This is what we want, though. We want these young kids to come through, but it's not going to happen. You're going to get your March Banky and Lewis Young back. That's what's going to happen.
But look at Geelong. Geelong have a really, really good way of doing it. They don't play players until they're ready or it's an absolute necessity due to injury. They let them sit there for 2, 3, 4 years until they get the system and they get it done right before they bring them in. They don't bring them in and destroy their careers like we do because we need someone to play a game. Oh, our draft pick was number 2. Put Paddy Dow in and let's kill him. Bring Lockie O'Brien in because he was second pick number 10. Bring him in and kill him. We do that. You have a look at those other sides. They don't do that. I just think our coaching side of the game, we're not experienced enough. Like Voss has been this is his 3rd year. I think he had 3 years at Brisbane very, very early on and then got the bullet and he's been assistant ever since. So he's still a baby. Jordan Russell, he's still a baby in AFL ranks. He did VFL, but not AFL. They're going to come in with ideas. It takes a while for these guys to sort of figure it out. I mean, if they come in with 10 ideas and only 6 of them work, they'll come back next year with another 10 ideas and you might get another 4 or 5 that might work, which then goes to 11 out of 20 or 12 out of 20 type thing. It takes time. And this is what I was saying to the guys on Jumper Punch and also on Blue Abroad. You have a look at all the good sides. It takes bare minimum 5 years from the time a coach gets there until they're even closely successful. Except the Doggies, they're the exception to the rule. And people forget about Collingwood. They had a premiership side pretty much when McRae walked in. Like they'd played in the grand final, 2 final series, had 1 bad year like we're having this year with injuries. And then the following year, McRae got there and took them to where he's taken them. So I think it's just 25, 26 will be our years. I think we still don't have all the cattle. We need to get guys. We need a good defender. We all got sucked in with Marchbank and his last couple of games in the final series, hoping and praying that he would be that player that we remember in 2019 and the last game, and his body's let him down again, and he'll be gone. Martin's got to go. If it was me, I wouldn't have kept Williams on. When he's there, he's good, but when he's not there, he's about as good as Cooter. We might as well have Cooter on our list because he's never going to play. And that's what we got with Martin. We've got all these guys who are on the list, but they just don't show up and they can't
That's
play.
the story of a lot of players. It's spot on, Johnny. That's the story for Cunners, for Marchbank, for Martin. It's the when they're there, it's nice.
Durden,
but yeah.
Murkoff, he's not up to it. He just doesn't look like he's going to do anything. That Domaquay, unfortunately, he's been on the list now 4 years, I think it is, and he doesn't even look close to getting a game. He can't even run out a full VFL game, let alone an AFL game. So I think we've got about 6 or 7 that'll be moved on come year's end. You got to remember, like, half our problem stems from Stephen Silvani. I've said this all along. I remember him when he got to the club, and his motto was about getting guys who were injured that were overlooked. If we can get their body right, we've got a bargain. And that was his big philosophy. And he would draft and trade guys who were injured because he could get them cheap and easy because they'd be overlooked. If we get their body right, we've got a bargain. How's that working for us?
Well, about 4 mil after a few years for Martin doesn't look so good now, right?
We're looking at Nick Haynes now, aren't we?
That are not on the list anymore. That we've moved on. Now Nick Austin's come in, and you can't get rid of everybody too quick because we did that when Bolton got there, and it killed us. We cut too deep, and it really hurt us. So you got to do it in dribs and drabs, and it's like 5 and 6 at a time at most. We don't have. I've said it. We got about 80-85% of our premiership side. We still need a few more. I honestly don't believe McGovern is one of them. He goes missing too much, and you said it before. When it's a contract year, he plays out of his skin. Once he gets that second year, he goes missing, and he's always injured. He's not reliable. You look at all the premiership sides. The one thing they all had was reliability,
consistency.
Absolutely, they were there every week, and they learnt to play with each other. Our guys. I don't think McGovern's ever played a full season. I think he's probably played 16, maybe 17 games at best once.
I don't think he's played a quarter.
I think we've only got a dozen players that can run out a season and say we've played every game. Like you go through the names. You got Pitto, unfortunately Sauce, McGovern, Cunningham, Marchbank, Durden, both Durdens.
Yeah,
Williams, Martin, like all these names can't run at Chera now. Chera, like 5 hamstrings in the last 12 months. There's so many players that the criteria is set now. Can you run out 4 quarters?
Yeah,
that's where we're at now.
Yeah, now we're going to find out next year and the year after, I suppose, if it's Andrew Russell or is it the player. Now, like I said, some of these players came with a broken body, and we've tried the Band-Aid fix them, and we just can't. So, who knows?
Yeah, I think recruitment this year will be massive. It's important they recruit.
It'll be one of our biggest years, and because we've got such a big list. I mean, Camporelli boys are coming next year, but if we think that these 2 young kids are going to turn our club around, we're kidding ourselves.
Yeah.
They're going to take time. One of them apparently is an absolute superstar. The other one's just a good ordinary player. But don't expect him to be Nick Dacos because he's not.
And that's what worries me, Johnny. That's what worries me. People are going to put the Dacos comparisons from the start.
Yeah, 100%. You know, he's a father and son. We've got 2. They've got 2. Our Camporelli was a premiership player. Dacos was a premiership. They'll draw comparisons. They'll come up short, and then the club will turn on, or the supporters will turn on them. They'll be on social media and these guys are shit. They're no good. And I'm scared it's going to hurt their career or kill their career.
They probably won't even get a game with us. Let's be real. They'll probably be stuck in the VFL.
Well, if anything, going back to what Johnny said before, we ruined some of these overhyped, I guess, by the fan base or the club draft picks when you slot them in from the start and kill their careers. We've done it time and time again. But that's what I'm saying is
absolutely if they're ready, but don't bring them in because we have to roll out our first round draft pick like we had to previously. Because that's all we had for so long. We had nothing but first rounders. That's all we had. So
problems everywhere.
All right, boys. Thanks for letting me on and enjoy.
Thanks, John.
Have a good night.
Appreciate it, mate.
Take care.
The big Scotty.
Yo, g'day fellas, how are ya?
Thanks for sticking with us, mate.
Tough act to follow, Johnny fucking Holden, I'll tell you that. So I've been hitting it like George for the last 24 hours, to be honest, fellas. I've had about 40 litres.
I'll bring the pegs.
Yeah, I picked it up from the IGA across from Flinders Street and I drove home while smashing the fruity lefts.
Should have made a detour to Pascal, mate. Bottle of Pascal.
True. Well, I'm doing the old uni tutorial here. Everyone's kind of said what I was going to say, but I won't pass on. There's only one thing that kind of came to mind. It was more of a cultural issue within the club because, pre-season, our club's addicted to media and they were putting out their summer sessions podcast. And because I'm just a little fucked in the head, I pick up on things here and there. And when they had Blake Acres on for his interview, there was something that he said that I'm surprised that they didn't like edit out, because it said so much to me, and it was really a poor reflection on the player in question. But he said that one of the biggest things that cut him over the preseason was the fact that Ollie Hollands had dropped his number of 14 to take up 4, and had moved his locker away from Blakers as a result of that, and that Blake was kind of appointed as his mentor in his first year. And because, I know the kid, he was only like 18 at the time, but because he chased a bigger number that meant so much to the club, it kind of spoiled that relationship. And just because something like that, something that seems was probably just a passing anecdote for Blake, but for me, like when I picked up on that, I was like, shit, man, like how is anybody at the top not picking up on something on that and not realizing how it can cascade throughout a season or within a playing group? It's something that seems so small to me, but when you look in hindsight, imagine how many of those small things are happening throughout the club that just aren't being picked up on, which in a serious, motivated club, you wouldn't have these kind of, these kind of things happening between your players where it's just, sorry. Dry mouth. Just had to hit the sack. I've had like
good call out though. Absolutely, I had no idea about that.
Yeah, same. Never heard of that.
Well,
I'm probably the only one that actually listens to those fucking podcasts, but it's true.
But Scott, that's a great pickup. You know why? Because now that you've said, reading into it over the course of the season, and Blake being his mentor, you've gone from, all right, I've upgraded my number to a cult number in 4. And
it's not just any number. It's not just any number.
Yeah, but then as a result of that, right, your locker mates and the people you sit with and you see them every day a bit closer than others are Akers and Doherty to Motlop and Chera. Not knocking them, but knock them.
Knock them.
Yeah, 100% knock them.
I'll knock both of them.
Big downgrade.
Akers and Doherty, right? So you've got senior leadership players, right? Players that have so you'd want to be and if you're Ollie Hollands, you want to be learning from these guys, right? So that's a good call, Scott.
And it can go either way, because on the inside of the collar on the Guernsey, it says the number on the back of this Guernsey is not as important as the monogram on the front, which, fuck the legacy number. Who gives a fuck? It's just a number. But then there's other, like Blake Akers in that same interview said, and Matty Cottrell said as well, the most important thing for him is to have his name on his locker for that number. He couldn't care what the number was, but that number that he got, that was the most important thing to him. Not the actual number that somebody else had worn previously. Yeah.
Fuck, I had no idea that happened.
Make your own legacy.
I'll tell you what, you said something that like you said something about it doesn't happen at big clubs or good clubs, good teams and all that. It probably does, but it doesn't hit the fucking media like it did.
I don't let it get out.
Do you know what I mean? Like this,
Harley Reid is getting around in Ben Cousins' number. I don't think I've ever seen anyone from West Coast make that comparison. Yes, it's Ben Cousins, but if it was Carlton and we had a player like that, like if Harley Reid came in and put on Patrick Cripps' number, they'd think it was it was destiny.
Yeah, exactly. And that goes back to what I said. Like we're a legacy club. We're so focused on our past.
Yeah.
What legacy?
Right. But
I was born in '94. I was literally named after Scott Camperelli. I don't care, man. All I want to see is for them to make their own legacy. Like, who cares? And then when they like trotting out all these past players, I don't think they've ever listened to a fucking word they've actually said. David Rees-Jones says it all the time. And you pick it up, like, even with Diesel, some of these others. You know the type of bloke that they are. They all say the same things in regards to how they got brought up. Peter McConville, Vinny Cartoggio and that, they say how brutal it was back then. At Princes Park, it used to say that, coming seconds is as big as a loss or whatever. But now it's like, actually, the biggest thing that David Rees-Jones said on Sunday was that when he went on 360, the media representative from Carlton was coaching him on what to say, saying, "Oh, it's been a rough few weeks. We've had a few injuries. It's not been the same, but we're going to be it up." And he was flabbergasted, and so was I. Like, it's a joke.
Wow.
Yeah, it's wild.
Control
Yeah,
that.
the
I
outcome.
completely.
Well,
You got the Hawthorn right there, a man who actually built his own legacy, and you're telling him what to say about his club, not Weedering's, not a nameless person who hides in the shadows of Princes Park. It's David Rees-Jones, and you're telling him what to say because it's on Fox Footy.
You could tell. So, I watched him on Blue Sunday. I think that's what it's called, on the Jumper Punch. And
Yeah. It's a fantastic
so
show.
I watched him that week. So I watched the show just before the 360 appearance, and he went off, right? He drilled the boys hard, and then his language was totally different on AFL 360, and I just knew he's been told what to say. Like,
there's a bit of that. I think he's also he's a fairly mature professional guy, but it also goes. I reckon if anybody from the inside of Carlton actually watched fan content, or at least good fan content, there's no chance they would have let him go on 360 because he's honest.
That's right.
Yeah,
it's and that's the rhetoric from the club, right? Like from the inside, it's all sunshine and rainbows and you know, sunflowers and things like that. That's what they want you to see and feel and hear and get around the players and coddle them. And the fans yesterday, you know, the overall positivity about, no, just stick with the boys and get around them and this and that. And I get it to an extent, right? But they are just constantly enabling this culture and that behavior, just constantly, right? I think, Andy, you said it. George. It's an acceptance of mediocrity and acceptance of losing. This losing culture is just accepting. Right?
I just want to build on what you just said. So I've been reading the comments all night, right? And I've seen multiple people say, and people we know, that we shouldn't make finals and you know, what's the point? What's the point? That's the fucking loser mentality that this club has fucking instilled into the fans now. Do you know what I mean? No, you want to fucking make finals. Even if we finish 8th and get fucking pumped in the first round, you want to make finals. Finals is the goal. A premiership is the goal. Just because we're hurt and upset doesn't mean we don't want to. Nah, bro, you want to win. You want to win every fucking game, every contest, every quarter. That's what the aim should be. This loser mentality is like entrenched in our fabric of the football club. We tanked for years to get draft picks, right? Maybe we didn't tank. Maybe we didn't. Maybe we were just shit, right? But fuck, it looked like we were tanking at some points. You've built that foundation of losing, right? And I thought we were fucking over it. I thought we had passed it. And just in a few weeks, we've just gone back to that defeatist attitude on field. Like we're defeated.
Do you honestly think that the players can they sense the moment? I know obviously it doesn't look like it.
I don't think they can.
I somewhat disagree. I reckon it's just it's a what is it? It's a strategy or a tactic or like a defense mechanism for us just not to hurt. Does that make sense? Like we say, oh, it doesn't matter if we make finals in a way to just protect our own feelings and emotions.
Maybe,
maybe. We've been through this so much. Of course, we all want to make finals.
I think a lot of it's out of anger too, though.
If you think it's been rough this last week, what do you think the next 2 weeks is going to be like? I want us to make finals. The hardest steel is forged in the hottest fire. And they think that the last 24 hours has been tough. They're going to get ripped to shreds no matter what for the next fortnight. And then coming into that first week of finals, even when we miraculously have a fresh list again and we're at our peak, they're going to get everything that's been coming. And that's going to make them better. And it's got nothing to do with everybody that stands behind them. It's all about those that are on the field at that point. And I hope they learn every single chance they get because they're going to be better for it, but they're not going to learn unless they're there.
Exactly.
And the only reason why, if people say, let's not, like, I don't want them to make finals, that's just venting. It's frustration. It's what is it? It's cathartic motion. But at the end of the day, I still want to see the boys and blues up there in September. But fuck, like, I I can't. I enjoy catharsis myself. I kind of like being a Carlton supporter all my life. I almost enjoy living in that dread because I want them to feel how I feel because I can pick myself up out of it. Can they too?
We're all kind of sick. We're all kind of twisted.
Fucking
We're a bit like, do you know what I mean? We're a bit like, oh, we're sadistic. We love this shit. And this has been probably our most viewed live because Carlton supporters
hit the like button, you freeloaders.
Hit the like button. Exactly. Exactly.
I want to see a ton, brother.
And
We're at 91. We're at 91 likes. Get us to 100.
We've been over 200 viewers since we started, guys. Get us to 100 at least. Everyone hit the like button now. But you're spot on, Andy. We chase this. I don't know what the melatonin, serotonin, whatever the chemical in the brain is. We chase this high serotonin, dopamine. We chase this high when we win. Like you look at, the second Melbourne game, and then the Melbourne semi, and then the Brisbane opening round. All the lows are just another, a wave crashing just to hit that high again, right? And we're all like, we're literally Carlton supporters as a whole base. We're like crack addicts. Just give me that next win, right? And then you get that down.
I was like, I don't want to see him kick a goal. I wanted to sit at fucking 38 to the edge.
Yes. Yeah.
I want to watch the world burn.
That's exactly what you just said, George. Exactly what you just said. I want to watch the world fucking burn. That's how it feels when you're angry at the game.
And any other club, like fucking Collingwood, Flogs, Essendon, Spurs, when they're losing, they're out, they're gone. They're like, I don't care about footy anymore. My season's over. I don't want to think about it till next week. I want to sit there in bed rolling over hard. I had 2 full seasons of the Carlton Premiership TV show, like fully scripted in my fucking head.
We've got a group chat.
It's all gone wrong.
We've got a group chat on WhatsApp, and it goes off right during games, during the week. It goes off. After a bad loss, there's always one of us, will message at fucking 2 or 3 in the morning. Just fuck this club, fuck this fucking club. Hey, but like I said earlier, we're still gonna rock up. We're still gonna go to the games. We're still gonna pay our memberships. We're still gonna do this. We're going to have that community. And look, this is a positive. Yeah. Things like this, these kind of therapy sessions build a community, right? So I just wish we were winning flags instead of fucking getting flogged at the G. So, yeah.
Scotty, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for coming on.
It's been an absolute pleasure for you fellas too.
What a legend.
Mate. Enjoy that drink, mate.
Enjoy the game.
George, you're off the leash this month, all right? Treat yourself.
Just go hard.
Years on me, brother. Pasco Vale.
That's 6.
Curse is broken. On you, Scotty.
See you, boys. Love you.
See you, brother.
See you, mate.
Justin, quickly before we get to Aiden, Justin in the chat. I want a hug from Carl telling me it's going to be all right. I can tell you, I got one of those yesterday, and it's kind of nice. We all need one of those.
Aiden, how you going, mate?
Aiden. Thanks for being patient.
Get it off your chest, bro. Get it off your chest.
Do it.
Firstly, sorry, Mr. Nadia.
You know what I said at the start? I said, will that loose like Musa's legs on the Instagram story? It wasn't even fucking funny.
Oh shit!
Like that's how loose we were all over the ground. Like fuck.
Yeah.
Like,
Do you know how relaxed Mus was at the gym, by the way, today? I'm at the gym with Mus today. And I'm like, have fun tonight. When I said, Bob, have fun tonight, I was like, I will, mate. You have fun. You're going to be stressed. He was just smiling. I was like, this guy's so lucky, man. So, nah.
But the only place is loose.
Hey, chuck the mic. Get your phone a bit closer, maybe, bro.
oh, yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, that's better. Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I actually called in sick for that shit yesterday. Fucking, I was really confident leading to the week. I'm like, oh yeah, like after that fourth quarter against Collingwood, after what Vossi said and how Cripps said, oh, it's a tight fucking year and all that stuff. They're gonna come out. I knew we lost the minute they kicked those 2 quick goals. Immediately.
Yeah.
I thought we were over this shit. I thought we were over getting pumped by 72 points. Like, how can you wear a jumper and like I'm not gonna lie, it was a PR like shame for the whole week. That jumper, it was just a PR fucking shame from the whole club to release bobbleheads and to have every interview the whole week in regards to 160 years and all that. Like, they just dragged it out. They actually just dragged it out. It was just a PR shame. This club's a PR fucking machine. We have been that for like 6, 7, 8, 10 years now. And the fact that you've got like legends looking at them while they're coming out, and you've got Cripps touching the collar in their like little huddle thing. I don't know what he said, by the way. And you've got legends watching you play that have bled in that jumper, that have killed themselves to win a flag and to win games. And they're watching them play in it, expecting, oh, yeah, they're going to come out, embrace the 160 years, embrace the jumper. What do? They do what they've done in the last 10 to 5 years. Play like fucking shit. And that, I'm not even kidding. When we were getting pumped, the one thing that I was thinking about is just all those legends watching and how are they thinking? Because they were there from minute 1 to the last second. I'm like, how are they? Like, if I'm Koutafidis, I would be fucking ashamed of all of those players wearing his jumper because it's not theirs, it's his. He killed himself wearing that. Do they care? I don't. Like, let's be honest. The players, like, they talk to them every year. The past players come out. I don't even think the players give a fuck about them. To be honest, they don't. The players don't care. Which is just. Like the club, they just drown our past so much. Like, if we're successful, I would understand. But the fact that we've been shit for so long, it's just a PR for them. They don't care.
I'm waiting for the feel-good story to come out this week. It's what we do. When we get smashed or we have a really bad loss, that the club puts out a post, they're giving something away, or they're signed someone for 5 years. Such a feel-good story. Corey Durden's deaf sister will jump on. That's what we do. They just give us these soft moments, just to deflect away from the loss, and unfortunately, a lot of the fans just eat it up. You know what
burns me more though is like you get these comments. Oh, I feel sorry for this player. Or I feel sorry for this. But why do you feel sorry for them? They're going home to their multi-million-dollar house and their $100,000 car, and they're all healthy and all good. Why do you feel sorry for them? They couldn't give a fuck about us. They
don't care. Like, they don't care. I don't want to name names, but I feel like
name names, bro.
I feel like there's just a couple arrogant players that are in the team.
Tell me who.
For example, McGovern, because.
Yep. We name names on this podcast, bro.
For example, McGovern, I remember in his interview after the Melbourne game in preseason, he acted all arrogant. Like, he acted all arrogant even against Richmond. I'm like, why are you being arrogant for? You've done fuck all for the last 6, 7 years. You just milk up the whole club. You've made your 1.2 million. That's all you care about. You don't care about the fans. You don't care about anything. None of them do. Probably Chris, probably Harry, probably Charlie. The rest, I don't think they care. They don't care enough.
Fair point.
The list goes on.
When you're watching them play, do you honestly think that they play for the jumper? Because I don't think they do. I saw Motlop jog.
I'm telling you, I've seen a lot of footage on Facebook. But that one that I mentioned earlier by Pitternet just summed it up for me.
What did he do?
Well, enjoy it because we got him till the end of 2027.
Yeah,
I don't know why he's here for. I don't know why.
He gave up just a loose ball, or whatever, and then he just gave up on the chase. Just literally 2 steps. So
you know what kills me about Pitto is that direct opponents, like in any who was Lloyd Meek, right? There's all these other ruckmen that yes, they might look like big brutes or whatever, but they can make ground. They can mark a ball, around the ground, and they might be able to bob up and kick a goal. What frustrates me is that Pitto was actually doing a little bit of that when we first signed him.
Yeah,
I don't know what's happened since. Yes, there was draining the knee and all that kind of stuff. His mobility looks shot.
He's got nothing.
It's strange. Just the
I
way
just
he
wanted
moves around the ground. Yeah.
I just wanted to highlight this because I know I'm guilty of this, and I reckon a lot of us will be guilty of this.
I'll pull my hand up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we overrated this list after what we saw last year. And we expected the world, mate. I think this last week was the first week I tipped against us all year. I don't think I tipped against us all year, but I was so sure.
We have. Sorry, no, Aiden, you go.
I feel like last year was an outlier, if I'm being honest with you, because pressure was on them first half of the year. They copped it from everyone, fans, media, everyone was on them, and they went on this little camp. I don't know. They went on that little camp. It worked. And then they made a prelim. After that, I even saw it against Brisbane for a half. The cracks were still there. Because what we were doing in that half of footy, in opening round, we're doing now. And
The
then
first
again,
half, yeah.
for the first half. And then as we said yesterday on fan cams, Andy, like we weren't playing good footy at the start. We were just banking in wins and we needed to. And then when we peaked at the wrong time, but we were playing out of instinct. We're just playing out of our gut. And then as soon as we copped second place, 6 points clear, that's when the club started getting arrogant. And then that's when Vossi started changing everything. I don't know why he changed everything for, but like, I don't know, really. Like we have dumb footballers. They can't, like, I saw them kick, and whenever they're hitting their target, the player has to actually, like, move 2 steps forward in order to mark the ball. I look at Hawthorn, they're like 18, 19, 20 years of age, and they're actually kicking it to the throat of their player.
They're hitting targets with torps. They're hitting targets with torps.
Yeah.
It's not only that.
Ollie Hollands and Sam Walsh and Mitch McGovern can't hit a player 25 metres in front uncontested. Hawthorn are launching 80-metre torps to an uncontested player who launches a 40-metre drop punt to an uncontested player who launches a 50-metre punt into the square to a 3-on-1. Their way.
Like when what's his name Sicily did that torp, I'm like, oh, they're taking the piss. Like what's his name on Triple M said we knew that what did he say? He said we knew that Carlton normally die out, they don't have enough legs. When he did that, I'm like, yeah, they're taking the piss. Like they weren't even in third gear, like second gear. They were probably in their fourth. They'll just toying around with us. They're 19 years of age. They're 2 years into their rebuild. Like, if anything, we should be putting them into the sword. And they're gonna get battled and harassed, and they're gonna be a top 4 team next year already. 2 years into their rebuild, supposedly. I mean, the only positive that I can say is Voss's press conference was somewhat a little bit better.
I don't even bother.
Yeah, so.
It's the first time in a long time I didn't watch it because I was that furious. I'm like, he's not going to say what we want him to say. I was broken. I'm not ashamed to.
Yeah, George
was broken and
George was done.
Bro, I fucking swapped my GWS Coleman predictor for a Charlie predictor on Tuesday, like a dickhead.
If I'm being honest,
cop that right in the mouth.
When you did that, I'm like, yeah, we've lost.
No, we were having such a good morning, Carl. We were smart. Carl, we were confident, right? Everything was going well. You know,
I was telling these shining. I was getting cut at how optimistic Carl was during the week.
Mate, the sun's shining. We get to the game. Yeah, all right, whatever. Doublehead this. The sun's shining. We get there early. We're feeling good.
Great parking. Great parking.
Oh, yeah. Great parking. You couldn't get a better car parking than that, right? And you're there early. It's good. And we're like, nah, something's wrong. It's too nice. Too good this morning. Shout out Stephen McCauley. Kerno has no football IQ. Walsh can't hit a target. Harry is soft. And they're supposed to be our best players. Stephen goes whack.
Facts.
We love a whack on the potty.
Like, I was planning to get my bobblehead, but I came in late and apparently it was all sold out. So I'm like, you know what? Fuck it.
Morris has got 3.
If anything, the club shouldn't release any more bobbleheads because for the past 2 years, whenever they have, we've got them fucked. We've got them.
Do you reckon it's a curse? It is.
It is.
Bro, the Eddie Betts bobblehead we got done.
When was that game?
Essendon, I think it was a couple of years ago. Essendon, we
Yeah.
popped it in the mouth,
Mhm.
right?
Yeah.
Hawks, I think that I just can the bobbleheads,
Look,
bro. It's done.
It's, they
I
know we're
reckon-
going to lose. They
I
know we're
reckon-
going to lose.
yeah.
so they can win.
I reckon the first one you say, all right, bad luck. The second one you say that's a coincidence. He's 3 times now. 3 times.
Triple
What
whammy.
are they gonna do next year? Put fucking Cripps,
Free hats.
Judd, and Kudafidis on there next year. I wouldn't even be surprised. And you know what? That will work. People will buy it.
100%. I'll be the first one in line. Like a dog. Like a dumb dog. I'll be the
No,
first
let's
one.
be real.
Yeah.
Even if they give you Jackson Bins a bobblehead, people taking them. Doesn't
Oh,
matter
yeah.
who they give. People line up because it's free.
They deserve our bobblehead, mate. That's it is. All right. What? We have a bobblehead fetish. It doesn't look good for me here, does it? It doesn't look good for me
No.
at all.
At all.
It's fucked. I just this was before all the bullshit from last year, right? I'm like, I like a bit of Carlton. I don't know, it's representing some players on there, but fuck bobbleheads, man.
Look, how we dropped off this bad? I can't. I was saying we are probably second to the flag this year. Now we can't. Now we're not going to make finals. I'm convinced this week we're going to get. We've got what 100,000 injuries right now. I guarantee they're not gonna play a Bins. They're not even gonna bother playing anyone from the reserves because Voss is that stubborn. He's got favourites. He won't do that at all. He should, because someone said it before. Like Geelong, they bled in like new blood and all that, like young kids. Why don't we do it for? Why? What's there to lose? Play a Moya, play a Cooper Lord, play
Can I-
Bins.
I think it's our development, our actual development, our play development. The way
It's
that we
always
develop
been an issue.
has always been a problem. Has
Mhm.
alwa-
I think our club's shit
look at how many top 10 talents we've burnt
all round.
in the last 6 years.
Yeah.
I mean, in fairness, I can say to that, like with Dow and O'Brien, they got put straight in with no
Yeah,
development at all. But I think with like Cooper Lord and all that and Beans, they're actually getting like a little bit of time into them. And apparently, like, it's only my opinion, but yeah, like they've got enough time now. Just play them. Like, in order to find out what these players are like, put them in. And unfortunately, we have to play them when it's a must win and we've got 6,000 injuries, which is unreal.
Well, you'll see it this week, right? If Harry and or Charlie or both or one of them are out, Lewis Young's going to come in, and I'll bet anything on it. They won't take a punt with Harry. Let me just take take a punt.
They're both
You never
out.
know what
They're
the
both
kid. Yeah, you never know what he's going to be, right? If you don't play him, and again, yes, VFL form doesn't always translate into AFL form and vice versa and whatnot, but take a chance, right? How many success stories are there from rookie drafted players, let alone national drafted players, right? Take a chance. You never know what they're going to be like. Yes, they might come out and be absolute poo, right, for a couple of games, but at least guess what? Right, how they fit into the system. Boys, we probably had a light-hearted chuckle Saturday night at Essendon's expense. But the reality is, geez, we had a chuckle because we're not them, but it's worse. It's worse.
I don't know. At least we won a couple of finals.
Yeah,
I'll take that.
Yeah.
I'd rather lose by 74 than lose after the sorry. Get the fuck out of here.
Hey,
Fuck.
I've got two.
Hawthorn. So really quickly, Hawthorn won 4 premierships, rebuilt, and are going to be in the finals again before Essendon's won a final. By the way,
And have another
Funny stat.
three-peat.
And Andy, go on.
I've got 2 Mac Andrew rookie cards,
Oh, yeah.
supremacy rookies, which are aging like wine at the moment. He's a star. He's a genuine star. Hey, maybe we look into getting him out of Gold Coast.
Yeah,
Imagine him
we
in our
get him
defense.
and-
Why would you
we
want to
get-
come to us?
We get him and then we fuck him over
Bro,
as well.
We've got a big
Well,
club,
honestly,
bro.
We
have
Carltonized
got
him.
this-
Carltonized him.
I'm Mac Andrew. You're Carlton.
Bro,
Make me come to your club.
Give him a
Yes.
bobblehead. Give him a
maybe-
bobblehead. He'll be there. Come on, bro.
But with like Voss's messaging and all that, like clearly, like the way that he talked to them against after Collingwood. I feel like that's how he talks to them inside the club. If I'm being honest with you, I feel like he's just a mate, like arm around the shoulder, like everything's gonna be okay. You should be. I feel like he's treating them like as if they're in year 10. Treat them like adults, man. They've been in the system for long enough.
Yeah.
Like you see John Longmire having a go at his players. Who else had a go at their play? Sam Mitchell, who's had a go at 18-year-olds. Meanwhile, Voss is too scared to yell at 28-year-old men. Like, come on. Like, call them. Like, just say that we're not. Just say that we're not good enough.
Mm.
But apparently after Essendon in 2022, in that 3/4 time speech where he had an absolute go at them, they didn't like it and they didn't appreciate it. So I feel like he's had to treat them more like a mate and be more nice, which says everything wrong with the club. If our players had some balls and if they could take it like real men, we would be a different club. We would be a completely different club.
None of us have been at elite sporting organisations, right? But or played at that highest level. But do you think Lee Matthews is going to be the player's friend? Do you think Alistair Clarkson is going to be their friend? Do you think John Worsfold, John Longmire? Do you think Chris Scott? Do you think these guys are going to be fucking friends with their players? No.
You know, I heard Campbell Brown. He said on his podcast that apparently he couldn't be bothered playing in the NAB Cup game, and apparently Clarko had a full go at him. He said, "You're not playing."
How good was that?
Next week. Yeah,
that was brilliant.
you're never going to hear Voss say that to who Walsh.
So I don't think it's Voss. I reckon behind closed doors, Voss has a crack. I reckon it's the club in general because all the coaches we've had are soft cocks, and I don't think it's the coaches themselves. I think it's the people that are higher up.
I agree. Voss himself was a hard nut.
But he always looks angry. Let's be real. He looks angry.
Yeah.
But then when he comes out and talks, I like coaching. He does a Bolton. You know, it has to be. It can't be. It's fucked. We're fucked.
It's like permeated in the walls of the club. I don't know what it is. It's just
like
we coined the term Carltonized, right?
Because the club's that nice, like we got Carlton respects bullshit. Like, don't get me wrong, I love that, I like it. But we're a politically correct club. We're too into political shit. Like, we're just too nice. Like, I guarantee if Voss said what's his name, Damien Hardwick said how we said we need to harden the fuck up, he'd get sacked the day after. He'd be like, no, you're not. It's not nice enough. It's not good for Carlton respects, even though it's got nothing to do with them. You're going to hurt their feelings, and then player morale will go down. If he said that, we'd be fucked.
And the reality is we got more PR initiatives in the last decade than finals appearances. That's the truth of it, right?
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Just want to give a shout out to Morris who had that wonderful donation earlier. Imagine an Andy bobblehead with real lashes. It's funny, bro. I've been designing a Morris one with real hemorrhoids. When you squeeze it, you got to squeeze it real hard. You know?
It's not good enough, man. Like we've made everyone's expectations were top 4. The season's already a failure. Like if we somehow make finals and win the flag, I will be shocked. We're not going to do that, but. If I got
Bro, we make finals to win the flag, I'll tattoo whatever you want me to tattoo on me. Whatever you want, Aiden.
I won't say it. I'm not going to say it here. But
head on your forehead.
Yeah.
Looks on the drip.
I love looks.
No, but seriously, if I was talking to them like tomorrow, I'll be like, you guys are fucking 29 years of age. You're not kids. Just grow some balls and take some criticism because we've got 105,000 members. They've got 105,000 people backing them in. Like, imagine 105,000 people supporting you guys to do well. If that happened to me, I'd get a fucking hard on and I'd kill myself.
Jesus, shit just got fucking dark.
No, like in a good way though. Like I'd actually like
in a good way. I'll kill myself in a good way.
No, like I'd kill myself for the jumper. That's what I mean. But anyway, yeah.
It sounds like a great Monday night. I'd get it a hard on and kill myself. Say, Hayden, kill me.
Yeah, but like I'd kill myself for the jumper. Like I'd go out there onto the field, bash anyone, like just win, just do anything to just win us the flag. But like clearly they don't care. Like when we got 100,000 members, it was already a PR spin. They didn't acknowledge it.
It is. It's not. It's a mirage. It's not real. It's not 100,000 people.
They don't care. Like
great man.
On yours.
We love your work, Oz.
Bro,
Hope you enjoyed the game.
Every time I bought a guest pass last year, I got a membership. So I've got 18 lanyards from last year saying 2023 member. Like I can build a rope and a raft. Mate, they're inflating the numbers. We know that, right? It's not, and this is the danger, right? The danger now from the club is that they're too focused on the off field and the dollars and this and that. There's a serious danger that next year, a lot of those numbers get depleted, right?
yeah, like we're not going to get 100,000 members next year. Forget about it. Yeah, that. But I'm saying like
You're not gonna kill yourself, bro.
no, I'm not. No, I'm not. But I'm saying like I would die like as John as
I'll get you, bro. I'll get you.
yeah, like I would die for the jumper. Like we don't have players that do that.
It was just it was a very, very amazingly worded sentence.
It got taken out of context so bad. I'm just
If anyone
saying-
listening needs help, seek help beyond blue, all that kind of stuff. All right? No, but I know what you mean, Eden. It's a how frustrating is it? Seriously, like, and this is why we've done this. This is why we do this, right? This is literally how we came up with the Monday Blues.
I just wish this show was on when in 2022. That's all I'm gonna say.
Now, after that game, we won't mention.
Yeah, would have been shut down.
You would have just seen 5 Arabs crying. It would have been tears. It would have been holes in the wall. It would have been great viewing.
Just dark places.
Yeah,
Aiden
like-
Dark.
yeah, like yeah, I would die for the jumper. Yeah, that. But
Aiden's still trying to justify.
no, because I'm scared someone's gonna clip this and then send this to fucking. No, I'm joking. But
Paranoid.
He's paranoid. He's gonna get done for inciting mass suicides. Jesus. Aiden, thanks for jumping on, bro.
But yeah, it's not fucking good enough. I hate this club. My dad's going to WA this week. I feel so bad for him. He's gonna watch. Yeah, I'm like, I pulled out. I'm like, I'm not going to watch that shit. Fuck that.
All right, it's a bad sentence. He's hard on and he's pulling out.
Yeah. By Thursday,
If you feel him down, get in touch.
by Thursday, Aiden will be on the flight as well to Perth. Watch.
100%.
It's a vicious cycle.
Oh, I guarantee you, I'm not. Anyway,
Thanks for joining, bro.
yeah.
Pleasure.
Have a good
one,
Pleasure.
Aiden.
Pleasure. Thanks, Aiden.
Just in case, just sharing that.
Hey, we've been on nearly 2 hours. We've been on. Oh, okay.
Benny,
On your
let us
There
know.
you go, mate. Bro, I don't
Yeah,
know.
keep
I'm just gonna stop you for 1 second.
Go.
Do you watch wrestling?
Nah.
Okay,
Yeah,
you
go
look
for it.
like
I
a
used
bloke
to.
called Kevin Owens, bro. You look like a
Yeah.
bloke
Oh
called
no, I
Kevin
know
Owens.
who Kevin Owens is.
You
100%.
fucking look like Kevin Owens, bro.
I'm stuck in WA. Haven't been home in 2 months, so I haven't been able to shave.
That's
I'm
all
going
right.
home.
One of us.
Going home this Friday because I cancelled my tickets for Monday morning because I was meant to go to the game, but fucking cancel that shit. Change my flight.
Oh no.
Going
Very
home
good.
early if I can.
Smart man.
Boys, we bag fucking Andrew Russell and we bag this, that, and the other, but how is it being successful everywhere he's gone but Carlton? And like by the sounds of it, from what I've heard, he's been telling the club, no, we've got too many injury-prone players, we've got too many soft cocks, we've got too many players that are unfit. And the club went, nah, deal with it. You're Andrew Russell, you deal with it. And
That doesn't
Really?
surprise me if that's the case.
that's just what I've sort of heard a little bit. And it's just like, how the fuck has someone come from Hawthorn in the early 2010s
and absolutely fucking been miracle worker for him. And everyone comes here. We get a CEO in from Geelong who's built Geelong's plan, and we're still fucking unsuccessful. We're still a miserable club. I just don't fucking get it.
From everything that we've heard, it just sounds like we've still got that one powerhouse broker inside the club that he's just moving his weight around in places that he shouldn't be, and it's fucking things up. And it sounds like he's got so much pull on the playing list that it's not funny. I don't know. It's just what it feels like from the outside, right? Because Voss is not a soft cock. He was a strong player, and I'm sure that he'll bring that across into his coaching. The way Voss speaks in his presses does not sound like Voss.
No, sounds reserved.
It sounds like the people we have a specific system that we try to play to, but it doesn't seem like we're picking the players when it comes to the selection committee for the system that we try and play. We try and play. We look at playing list, and then we look at how much we're paying them, and we'll put the players on the park that we're paying the most for.
Yeah, 100%.
Everyone else can see out.
Yeah, that cooks me. That absolutely cooks me.
Yeah.
Because that's selection integrity just goes out the window. You got players on the sidelines who might deserve a game. And mind you, I don't think there are many VFL players who deserve a game. We're pretty shit in the VFL.
Yeah,
so I'd say a couple, as Carl said. So, but still, you know what I mean? Maybe that's why we just keep going to the same well with the same players.
Yeah, maybe. Like,
it's definitely not the last we've heard of it. I think it's a good call, Ben, when there's probably going to be more that comes out in the off season in terms of, what was said or spoken about if it does, but I think there's more to it. So like you've alluded to, there's some maybe some muzzling happening from the top and just, club don't like hearing facts from people, right? And when they do this review after review and whatnot, it's a selective process, I guess.
I've got a question for you, Ben.
Yeah, it's interesting.
We win the next two games.
Go for it.
We win the next two games. Somehow we make finals. Do you think before a finals game has been played, do you look back and say, all right, we made finals, the season is a success?
No, not a success. We come into the start of the year and everyone said we're a top 4 club. Everyone, all the media, we're a top 4 club. This is their year. Last year they had a rough start, and they've learned. But we've gone backwards. We fucking had it in our hands. And somehow, even if we do make a prelim, if we do make a grand final, then you call it a success. But if we make a prelim, I still think it's a failure. Like,
I'm that sick in the head. I'm that fucked in the head that I believe that if we make finals from here, right? So if we beat West Coast over there, all these injuries. If we beat St Kilda, all these injuries, we would have earned that 8th spot. And I truly think if we make finals, that we can actually have a crack at the big boy. I actually think we can.
No, see, I'm sick like you too. I agree. I fucking hate it, but I'm sick like that.
I fucking believe.
You should is like, all right, we're gonna bring in these kids to obviously fill in the injuries.
Yeah.
They're gonna come in, play their hearts out. We're gonna make finals. These players are fit. We're gonna bring them back in.
This is a weird year, man. This is a very strange year where I think strange things will happen. Right. And yes, I think, Carl, you're spot on, right? No matter what happens and no matter who performs on their day, right? If Jack Carroll comes in and has 2 blinders, right? When other players are fit and firing or whatnot, he's got to go, right? That's probably the way it is. That's what's going to happen, right? Harry Lemmy could come in and kick 4. If Harry and Charlie are fit, he's not playing. Lewis Young might get a crack in front of him. I guess that's the way it is.
It's because they'll look at the money list, right? Who's on the most money? Who can we get on the park? Work down that list.
Yeah, I've got a question for all you boys. In Sam Walsh's first year and his first 10 games, What did everyone fall in love with him? Why did everyone fall in love with him? And why has it changed now? Because I say one glaring difference compared to his first season and a half, to now.
Disposal
I just want to see what you boys think.
for me, it's
Nah.
Work rate was my one.
Yeah, I would have said disposal as well.
I just feel like his work rate was on another level compared to anyone else on the ground.
100%. He would run from the fucking
running,
back
yeah.
pocket to 80 meters to get a 15-meter kick off someone, kick the ball 15 meters, run another 30 to get another 15-meter kick, and just wouldn't fucking stop. And now we got a bit arrogant. We got a couple of wins, and he's fucking stopped completely. I love Sam Walsh, but he's not the same player he was 2 years ago, 3 years ago. His work rate's just dropped off a cliff.
Is that because of his back?
I was just about to say that.
I think some of it, of course, has to do with his back. But when you see, like, in games against Port, even in the second or third quarter, just push yourself for 5 minutes. We can't get a lead. We keep on bombing it long. Just every now and again, push one lead out. Push one of those short kicks out. And I just don't see him do any of it anymore. And
See,
again, I get the back, but yeah.
For me, the most disappointing thing about Walshy is his lack of awareness at the moment. How many times is he getting caught holding the ball? Like it's and I don't know if it's lack of structure down the field, which we know is a problem, and maybe he's more aware of not bombing the ball long, so he's trying to make the right decision. But at this level, you're not going to have the time, and he's lost his timing. And that's for me, that's my biggest fear for him going forward. Can he get that back? And maybe it's because I feel like he had it early in the year, and it was that change in rule that kind of got him away from that.
I think that rule has stuffed him up a lot.
Yeah, so I'm hoping a bit of training on it, a bit of work on it in the off season. Probably can't work on it now.
No.
But I'm hoping in the off season he gets time to maybe work on that, because for me that's the most disappointing thing about Walshy. It's just getting that right disposal and not getting caught with the ball.
Yeah.
And going back to fundamentals, like there was that kick that I think it was the second quarter when he's kicked it to Charlie, the short kick to Charlie, right? That's dropped. It was a 30-meter kick. He's kicked it about 15 or 20. It's dropped. Charlie's just gone through he tried to almost trap it, but he sort of didn't, and then he got completely pushed off the ball. So again, that kick, Kennedy does another one, Walsh does another one. So you're killing your forwards there as well. But if he cleans that up, but what a stark difference we're seeing from September last year when he was just unbelievable.
Yeah.
And again, is a debilitating back injury. It's there's many question marks. There's too many question marks on players on the team and we've always been a team where we've always thought we're always like, well, it's Cripps or bust, or Walsh or bust, or it's Wiedering or bust, or we need to plug these. We don't have wingers, so no wingers bust, or Charlie. But we always have like a condition.
Yeah, we do. And like one of the thing with sort of the Walshy thing is, why the fuck do our fans say it's Batman and Robin? Walsh isn't fucking Robin. Walsh is Superman. Why are we fucking putting him as a fucking little sidekick? Walsh, when he's up and going, is a fucking superstar. And Batman Robin, he's not fucking Robin. I fucking hate hearing Batman Robin. That's one thing that infuriates me with our fans. He's a fucking superstar when he's going.
He's
so he needs that respect.
Yeah.
Good call.
Right, cool.
Yeah.
Batman, Wetman.
Aquaman, something. Just he's not a fucking sidekick. He's a superstar when he's up and going. But
that's a good call. What are you doing stuck in WA, mate?
I work with the Jaws of Life for the CFA, so I go and service them all through Australia and stuff. So WA is my block at the moment.
Good on you, mate.
Yeah,
good stuff. Well done.
Nice and busy. But yeah, back home. Stupidly enough, I told work that I had to be home for September. What a fucking idiot.
Mate, don't get me started on the plans I have cancelled. I've got a missus, and it's our first time I'm spending like her birthday, right? And it's on the 6th of September, and I've told her, listen, babe, like your birthday falls on a Friday night. If Carlton's playing, like I'm seeing Carlton play, and credit to her, she understood. I look like a fucking idiot now.
Oh, 100%.
Now I'm gonna be like, oh, babe, I'm free.
Oh.
So,
Can I come?
Oh,
sure.
hell.
Oh, jeez.
Thanks for
This
joining,
club,
Ben.
eh? This club. No, thanks for having me, boys.
Have a good
Fucking
night,
love
man.
the potty.
Safe
I'm
travels,
a long
mate.
time.
Safe
Spotify
travels on
listener.
your way back, mate.
Appreciate you
Cheers.
tuning in, mate.
All the
Thank
best,
you.
boys.
Thanks, man.
Cheers, Benny.
See ya.
What a legend.
That was having a few people on. I feel better. Yeah, like it still burns.
I think
Don't get
everyone
me
feels
wrong,
better.
I'm fucking burning.
We're not alone. The
Mm.
pain that we're feeling is
We feel shit
communal.
together.
Everyone feels it together. We're all kind of speaking the same language of pain and
No wonder why Terry's so positive. Terry from Blue Abroad. He's really positive during the week and just about things. And he does fan cams every week. And this it has to help. Like I genuinely feel better speaking to a few people. Terry's online for 4 or 5 hours sometimes.
And it's a good call. And this is why we done it, right? Like last year, we talk about it, we mope about it, whatnot. But when we get it off our chest, like even last week against Collingwood, by the end of it, we're having a laugh, right? We forget about it a little bit. That's what we're here for, right? That's what, and we appreciate you all. Just a couple of hundred of you that's been in the chat and watching us all night. Hit the like button if you haven't already. But this is literally what we do it for, and hopefully you guys have gotten a little bit of solace and some laughs from it because. We done it thinking, geez, if 10 or 20 people will listen to us, but turns out there's quite a few more of you. And you know what's funny is we haven't even, it's been 2 hours. We haven't even talked properly about the game yet, right? We've talked in bits and pieces. And that's
what's there to talk about? What's there to actually talk about?
What's there to talk about? 13 shots at goal from 43 inside 50s. Do you want to talk about that? Do you want to talk about
2 goals in 3 quarters?
5 minute 30 mark of the first quarter. At the end of 5 minutes 30, left in the first quarter, Hollands snaps our 3rd goal, and then we kick 2 for the rest of the game for the next 3 quarters. Jesus Christ, that hurt.
One thing that I did notice with the game, and this may sound a bit positive, and it probably is, and it gives me the slightest bit of hope for the next 2 games. The Hawks movement is rapid, right? If you rewatch the game, if you have the balls to rewatch the game, you will never notice Hawthorn hit up in transition from defense into the midfield into the forward line. You'll never see them hit someone up on the lead, so running towards them and hitting them up. Whereas Carlton did that every single time. There were instances in the second quarter where we actually did that. We created space, we created opportunities, but we didn't capitalize. Curnow getting pinged for holding the ball when he had 15 minutes.
That was the moment.
That's one I wanted to bring up.
That was the moment.
That was
that fried my brain. And then there were some other opportunities that we created off that where when we were transitioning, we were handballing or kicking it onto people that were running towards goal, not running back onto the ball. You know what I mean? Those instances created opportunities in space for us. They gave us opportunities to goal, but we just didn't capitalize. We wouldn't have won that game regardless. We had far too many injuries. But seeing that gives me the slightest bit of hope that even if we do make finals, we may have an impact. We may. That's the only positive I took from the game. Everything else was shit. I hate this club. Carlton can burn.
Carl, talk to me about. I looked at you in that moment, and that was the moment. That was the decider for me when Charlie got.
You know what? Look, we probably weren't going to win anyway. Yeah, we probably weren't going to win. Hawthorn was on. They were just on. They were quick, better, everything. They were better than us. But what that tells me about Charlie in that moment was, I want Coleman, and that's all it was. I don't give a fuck who you are. I don't give a fuck if you're Wayne Carey or Buddy Franklin. You got a player by himself in the goal square, you fucking pass the ball. You don't pause and think, oh, I can kick this. Or nah, you know what? I'm a fucking dumb dog. I'm going to get tackled instead. And then what happened from there? 5 or 6 goals. Game was done. But like I said,
That
we
was the
weren't going to win anyway.
That's-
That was
that
the
was-
moment that
That was the
That
moment.
was the nail. That was the nail in the
was
coffin for me.
stupid, man. Stupidity.
The first two goals already, you could tell it completely switched off. Where they're getting out the back. There's defensive lapses. We didn't turn up, right? Like I was trying, like going to yell, "Wake up!" Like literally, we did not turn up. But Isaac, shout out to you in the chat. I'm not going to say your surname. I've learnt my lesson on you, Isaac, or Mr. Dick. I'll bait it. I'll just tease it. That's even worse.
What'd you say, Mr. Dick?
Someone's gonna cut that now and fuck me over. Anyway,
He's gonna say, Mr. Dick.
shit.
You fucked up.
I tried to like be cool with it, and I've
You
just
fucked it.
popped it. What an idiot. Anyway,
I can't stop thinking about the D now.
so anyway, when I watched it again at home, right, because it looked like he had an eternity on field. He's looked at, and you can't tell me he's missed him. I don't care if the sun wasn't in his eyes. Zach Williams is in the square on his own. You can't miss him because I looked at it when you're looking at the replay. He's looking at the goal square, thinks about it, doesn't kick it, takes a moment to think, all right, maybe I'll have a shot. Then looks to his left.
He looks sideways. Yeah.
He looks sideways. Does he look to square it up? After seeing that Zach Williams is a lone option in the square, he had about 20, 30 meters free. It's guaranteed. Either pass or shoot.
Handball. Anything.
Something, right? And he's completely...
Yeah,
it was one of those things where I was watching it was one of those things I'm watching in the background. The missus was watching it. You know, what's that gymnast? The gymnast's name was on Netflix. There was a doco about it. She's the gymnast. She was like, yeah, that's the one. She was like she's the best in the world, and she's a freak at what she does, right? And they were talking about a mental she's all right. And I was like, I can do a triple backflip in my sleep, bro. She's all right. But she's talking about the mental like the twisties. They coined a term called the twisties, where not the lovely chip brand, but when your mind and your body can't sync all of a sudden, and you just what your body's trying to do, your mind's not allowing it, or vice versa. It looked like in that moment he just buckled. It was very unchildlike, because usually what he'll do, he burnt Williams. I'm not gonna shy away from that. He fucking burnt him, right? But okay, burn him and go for goal, right? If the Coleman lights are lining up, and you're going to get your back to back Coleman, go for the goal, right? But he burnt him and then just paused.
Shut the bed.
Did nothing.
So strange. So I don't know if that was like a bit of a block or spooked or whatever you want to call it, but strange. That was the moment, and ever since that moment, we'd never recovered. It was done. And then you got Jack Martin smashing into Fogarty 2 for 1. He's like, I'm gonna fuck my career. Might as well fuck your season too, bro. Yeah.
Jack Martin
comes in for what is it? His first game in round 12, 13 last season. All right, has a few good games, helps us on the way to the finals. I don't know what was wrong this year, calf, toe, knee, or that was Motlop. Right? He's out for 3 months, comes in for a game against Melbourne. I'm out again. Another 8 weeks. Comes in, plays a couple games, he's out again. And it's time to part ways.
Yeah,
surely.
100%.
100%.
It'd be stupid if we don't.
And it's not just him. If the list was in my control, Cunners, Marchbank, Young, Martin,
Sam Durden,
Chera.
I'm persisting with these guys.
Let me tell you something. Let me ask you something. If we get rid of them, who the fuck are we going to bring in when we cop injuries?
Petrarca,
Because we're not stacked in our VFL. That's the thing. We're not stacked in the VFL. Do we just get rid of them and just get better depth players? Is that what we do instead of like trying to? I mean, we have to. We have to get something for them. We can't just delist them. We have to fill those spots. We need depth players, and unfortunately, our depth players are just injury prone. Very injury prone. So it's a tightrope to walk on. We can't get rid of all of them. I honestly don't think we can get rid of all of them.
Are they even depth players? Like they don't really provide anything. That's why you what bring the kids in.
No, they don't. If you look at the soccer globally, like in the EPL, La Liga, Italian league, everything like that, football is no longer about individuals, right? It's all system based. It's all system based now. There's no more flair. There's no more individualism. Very, very rarely do you see it anymore. And it's the same. It's the same in footy. That's why you see teams with literally no names. I'll use Collingwood as an example. They've got a few names in there, but the majority of their list are B-grade players. But they're in there. They're in that team playing a role, playing to a system, and that's why they're so effective. That's why they're so good. That's why they won. They won the premiership last year. Carlton needs to figure out what is their system, what is their game plan, and then go and recruit for that game plan. Because
surely they've done that. Surely,
no, but
like
they haven't. Because that's why
surely. But isn't that what every team should be doing? Like that should be like we should have like this. I agree with you. I'm not saying we shouldn't do it, but surely, Voss or whoever, someone. Surely there's one fucking brain cell at the club that says, "This is our game plan. Why don't we build a list around the game plan?" Surely. But to what you're saying, I think you're right. We haven't done that.
We haven't because we go. This is our game plan. We're trying to fit a triangle into a square, and
we rely on individual brilliance and just we're a club of we need Wiedering down back, Wiedering or bust. We need Kerner to have a blinder of a season to get us anywhere, right? And you keep hearing the rhetoric: if he's out, they're done, right? You got 2 Coleman medalists in there. You got a Brownlow medalist who's now. Every year, it's getting closer and closer to the end for him. And what's he thinking? What's going through his mind?
And you forgot the 6 times should have been an AA player.
Well, this is the thing. We have the core, the spine, whatever you want to call it. TDK, geez, we miss him as well. But these are the things we should have had that next man up mentality. But unfortunately, it's this or bust, or this player or bust, and Peter V said it there. This is a talent-based side, not a system-based side. How many games have we won purely on individual brilliance and talent? And this is, and then you've got too much reliance on players that cannot run out a game, let alone a season, let alone a few weeks, right? So if you've got, and going back to your point, Amal, there's going to be some hard decisions. Well, I don't even know if it's hard decisions anymore, right? So when you've got Marchbank, Martin, Cunners, Sam Durden, a lot of these guys that unfortunately just can't play out a season. They can't. They've shown it time and time and time and time again that they just can't. Like I said earlier, we're getting to the stage where the minimum, can you play 4 quarters? Can you run out 4 quarters? Because we're playing guys that are, like Jack Martin. I don't think any one of us are confident that we were going to see him for running games. Right? He's going to come back. All right. Then he came back for a game, missed out on 2 months. He came back, and we're not wishing bad omens on the guy by saying, "Oh, watch your calf," and just be careful how he lands, or "Oh, he's going to do this or that." But unfortunately, the thing is, bloke's made out of glass. Fragile. Until we get rid of players that are made out of glass, we're giving contracts to players that are not just mentally fragile; that are physically fragile.
Who's the last player we re-signed? Is it Corey Durden, or did we sign someone after him? Maybe Cowan, I think. I can't remember.
No, we signed up Akers for a couple of years.
Akers.
Yeah.
But we haven't really extended anyone's contract. It'll be this week. We'll announce something. It's what the club does.
Most likely.
But I don't know, man.
Ollie, should we talk about Ollie? It's
we'll talk. Can I just? This is a little one. It's something that really bothers me. We keep playing Cripps in the ruck, and he keeps giving away free kicks. Like, at what point do the coaches say, "Listen, just let the ruckman go up on his own, and you just stay down. Don't even put a body on him. Just let him go," and we just give away free kicks all the time. So I don't know. Sorry, bro. Let's talk about Ollie Hollands.
How frustrating.
You know what? There's a lot of people think that he did well. I didn't see it.
Look, statistically, if you read the stats, he did well. I think, 20-something touches or something, I don't know, a few touches, 70%. You think, okay, cool. But his turnovers directly cost scores, and they're just unforgivable. They're mistakes that you should not be making at AFL level. You make one, okay, cool. But this guy's making them constantly. Like this, it's a trend now. It's a trend. And he's young, I get it. So I'm not going to go too hard on Ollie Hollins. Me personally. You boys go hard if you want. But me personally, the kid's 19. Give him a crack. I'll give him, a little pass. But I think next year,
it's the stupid things that he does, like a basic kick or gets tackled when he's got 45 minutes to get rid of the ball.
Yep, and it's the same as Walsh for me. It's the exact same as Walsh for me. Are they trying to make the right decision every single time, and they're just taking too long and getting caught? For me, that is annoying, but that's not the problem for me with Ollie Hollins. It's his missed kicks and his missed handballs, and he's off Ollie Hollins for one split second. Why the fuck are we obsessed with handballing? We're just obsessed with.
That's our game.
We get one out of the contest, and then we get one to a runner. We actually get the handball out to a runner, and instead of taking the kick, no, we'll go one more handball.
He's got someone on him,
and then we get caught.
Someone on him. Yeah.
Oh my god!
How many times do we hear in the crowd? Just kick the bloody thing. Like but you know what hurt even more? Right after we stuff it up, we turn it over. Hawthorn showed us exactly how to do it every single time. How many times have we handballed it incessantly in the forward line just to try to find a free option and turn it over? How many times?
Do you remember the Geelong game earlier this year? Amal, I remember me and you speaking about it specifically. And I think it was you who brought it up. You brought up how we were dump kicking it. But I'm pretty sure it was a conversation I had with you where it was almost like Geelong were letting us win the tap out.
Yeah.
Just because they knew we'd turn it over. I'm pretty sure you pointed that out.
Yeah, yeah.
And
they put numbers around the ball, around the stoppage. They knew we couldn't handle the pressure. Yeah. We're gonna dump kick it, and then they'll do their job from there.
So the Western Bulldogs, Morris brought it up before. The Western Bulldogs, I think last week were ranked either last or second last in the league for first touch after the tap work, after the ruck work. They are then ranked number 1 in the league for getting the ball back, for the actual clearance. So they've by design created a game plan where they allow the team, the opposition, to get the ball, but we back our own pressure to get the ball back. And I feel like that's what Hawthorn and other teams have done, because we're getting hands on the ball first in the middle, but then nothing. So it's just really, really, there's a lot of work for the coaches, man. There's a lot of work. And if we're any chance of beating West Coast this week with all the injuries,
that's another story.
This is a couple of comments I'll share. This is one thing that just kills me, and I've said it time and time again. Once he puts on a bit of size, but really, I've seen small, slender players make an impact when it comes to tackling basics. I'll never forget. So Max Camberos, I'll never forget when a Carl Amon was running down the wing. Ollie Hollins tried chasing him down and tackle Amon. It didn't even move. Amon kept his feet from getting tackled from behind. How many times? I think it was 2 or 3 times I counted when Hollins tackles a player, and the player still easily disposes of the ball on target. It just happens too often, right? So getting the basics, tackling to, I guess, not debilitate the player, but to impact the disposal. Ollie just clings on. It's either broken or the player still manages to get the disposal. So that if that's one thing he can add to his game, because he's ferocious. He'll run all day. He'll try his heart out. But if he can add that to his game, and we said it a couple of years ago, why can't we stick tackles? Why can't we stick tackles? Then we became a ferocious side, and you got guys like Lockie Fogarty doing it well, and Kennedy and Hewitt and Walsh. But you need that from Hollins, because he's going to close down on his man, and he's going to try.
He does. He gets himself in prime tackling position. but it's actually sticking the tackle, and it'll come. I'm not worried about Ollie Hollands, right? I think he'll come good, but fuck, it's you just want to rip your eyes out when he's got the ball sometimes, you know.
When's he going to become good, though? We're running out of time.
That's the thing. Yeah, you're right. We are running out of time. So what do we do? Do we like we can't? I don't want to get rid of him.
No, you can't get rid of him.
And there's nobody in the resis who's going to do better than him.
No.
So we're kind of stuck.
We're in trouble, boys.
Well, the reality is now, you of course, you got to win the next two, and you need to rely on Freo losing one. And they got GWS in Sydney.
They'll win.
They'll win. There's a GWS in Sydney, and they got, I can't remember what the last game is. They got someone at home. Port. I think they got Port at home from memory.
Who's that?
Freo.
Yeah, it's Port at home.
Yeah. But by the time that game rolls around, if they lose to the Giants, their season's done. So their Freo's season comes down to this week. Who would have thought that? Like Geelong did us a favour there. But how much does it suck when it does? It's not in your hands anymore.
Yeah, but we're always relying on other teams. That's fucking shit with us, though. Like,
Look,
the
I
only
can't
reason
believe
we've had four for so long is because all the other teams beneath us were losing.
Exactly. Everyone was doing this. The Bradbury, they were all just falling over, but we couldn't get past them. We couldn't get it done.
I said to you earlier today in the WhatsApp group, like, injuries or not, you look at us now. We're a bottom four side the way we're playing. Shocking. It's sad, but it's true. Yeah.
I've never been more disappointed to win a bet, honestly. Like, it happened the exact same way I thought it would. Everything unfolded without the injury. I didn't expect injuries like that. But regardless, I saw us losing in that exact way. They just outrun us, outwork us, and we're so easy to just get through and get past and get over. Collingwood, bro. Collingwood's been shit for how long now this year? And they made us look second rate. They made us look second rate. If they didn't run out of legs, they would have beat us by 7 or 8 goals. They ran out of legs. I don't care what anyone says. Sydney did them the same way we did, except Sydney got it done. So, yeah, I don't know, man.
6 weeks is a long time in footy. Second spot, $3.50. Second favourites for the flag, and you can't blame us for thinking of how far we can go. And we keep talking about doing one better than last year and getting into the position to almost guarantee that is you have to be top 4 to get yourself the double chance. And the players had two hands on it, and then you have a couple of losses and you have the teams around you lose. But again, it's been such a strange season. I don't think anyone saw or predicted what would happen to Sydney as well. And for it to be around, only lock-in finals with 2 rounds to go is insane. So I still firmly believe that this final series will be a bloody strange one. There'll be left field results. Yeah. Someone will win it that is not going to be Sydney.
That's why I'm so keen to make it.
If you don't know, if you're not in it, you can't win it, right? You got to have a ticket to the game. So what's the benefit of?
If we get over West Coast with these injuries, if we get over St Kilda, we got that week off before finals. Why not? Why can't we get our best? Yeah, you get that week off before finals, don't you?
No.
Yeah, there's a bye week. There's a bye week. Yeah.
You sure?
Yeah, there's a bye week before finals. There's a week off. So why can't we? If look, and this is a big if right now. Yeah, we're like after everything we've just spoken about, it's a massive if. A lot needs to go right for us. We need to get a lot right. Right? So that's why I think if we make it, we would have really earned it over the next 2 weeks. We get that week off to regroup and reassess and maybe get a couple boys back. Who knows? We're good enough at our best to win 4 in a row against anyone. We've shown that. And I think we can do it. But fuck, we just got to get there. I haven't given up hope on making finals yet. I'm not going to be that guy. I want to make finals. As long as we're a mathematical chance, I want to make it. So
I think we all do. Like I said, you said earlier, out of frustration, you get frustrated, but you want to be there.
Absolutely.
You don't wait fucking 24 weeks to not make it.
Mate, wherever it is, whatever it is, if it's GWS in Sydney, I'm flying there week 1. I don't care because we've seen what this group is capable of, and we know what they're capable of on their day. And if the last couple of years is anything to go by, back them in, right? But what a ride! How frustrating can we be? And to have to be in a position to rely on others, I hate that. Right? I want to control my own destiny. I never want to be relying on others as well for that. But
we have to now. We're in this position.
This is it. So whether what you do, and Voss said there will be a response. What is the response? I want to see it.
Whether we like it or not, now this is the position we're in. Backs against the wall. Let's see how much they give a fuck. That's what we're going to see. And look, all the injuries, if we come out and West Coast beats us, I just want to see the fucking bare minimum. Something we haven't seen in a while, just effort. 4 quarters of effort. You know what I mean? And I can't believe I'm saying these words in round 23. Like, I actually can't believe I just said that. I just want to see effort. These are the words we said when we were getting pumped back in the day, in the dark days.
That's what you're going to get from West Coast.
Just want to see a game of effort.
West Coast going to give us effort.
I said this fucking weeks ago, man. North weren't going to be easy beats. West Coast over there aren't easy beats. They're not even easy beats away from home at the moment.
Yeah, they play good away from home.
So,
couple in a row as well. They've won. They're up and about, right? They're buzzing.
Man.
And
who would have thought?
Yeah, it's and that's right. It's Seba. Thanks for joining, mate. Good to see you yesterday. I just want to see a fucking flag. That's it. That's what we wanted.
That's it. That's why it's so important that we fucking win the next 2 and just get ourselves on the fucking plane. You know what I mean? Just get your fucking seat and see how we go. You got to give us a chance, man. But fuck, they make it hard.
Time will tell, boys.
Are we going to do votes? Fuck,
we probably are. And Miles dropped off. Poor Miles. I think he's
had enough.
He's had enough. Yeah, he didn't get to give us his vote, so now he's off. Mus, he's on nights. We didn't even mention that Mus wasn't going to be on. Sorry, Mus, did we? I can't remember. Everyone's still based on the chat. Everyone reckons he's still on the treadmill. Any closing comments? Yeah. Actually, one thing I want to talk about really quickly. Jordan Lewis, I think, mentioned it. Was Jordan Lewis, or was it? They were talking about, and this is going back to your point about effort, Andy, and also I think this is more so perception and just body language. Every time the camera panned, starting from the second quarter to the bench, Jack Martin's in the hoodie. Fogarty's cut. Fogarty's just sitting there with his arms crossed. He hasn't moved. He's not looking left, right. He's just watching, staring the 1,000-yard stare. Martin's just here, got the hoodie on. He's just kicking back. The people on the bench. Yeah, he's done, right? Everyone on the bench, it's just dead quiet. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Voss is there with his arms crossed. Boyd is there writhing in pain. He's just there, copping it. I'll get back on the field, whatnot. There's one player, Kennedy's on his own on the bench, trying to come back on. The optics looked horrible, right? People were coming off and on, and it looked like a funeral, right? And you mentioned it yesterday, Andy. This seems like a funeral. And I think Jordan Lewis was saying you can still be positive for your teammates. You can still instill a little bit of confidence in your teammates, right? And I remember, I think it was a Euro, was it 20? The Euros where Portugal beat France when 2018, when Ronaldo got the injury. Right. Ronaldo got the injury, and he was cooked, right? I know it's a different code, but he's on the bench and he's yelling and he's screaming, and he's pointing fingers, and he's just G'ing everyone up, right? Like, if you're Fogarty or Martin, at least I'm not expecting them to get up and do that, but at the end of the day, you can at least be positive and have a bit of reinforcement for the player who's coming off, and but nothing, arms crossed, hood on, like the optics that they showed, and it was a good call out. But I'm pretty sure it was Jordan Lewis. It looked like a shit place to be, and it just looked like, hey, just give us the fourth quarter siren. Let's go home.
Lose a club.
That was
Loser
what
mentality.
Mentality. Yeah.
That's lack of leadership right there, bro. And we've said that all year, that we lack leadership. We really, really lack leadership. And that shows because, a team with good leaders would have players on the bench that are injured, pointing fingers, and you know what? Let's G them up. But nah, let's just, woe is me. Drown in our own sorrows.
Yeah.
Yeah, good call out, Georgie.
I heard it yesterday when I was watching the replay, and I thought it was interesting because if you're coming off, right, and you're just seeing Martin with the hood on, just looking like he can't be stuffed. Fogarty was just done.
Negative vibes.
Probably, it was frustration probably on his behalf as well, right? He's probably like, man, I got cooked by my own teammate. Yeah. Boyd's there just looked like it just looked like a war zone. It literally looked like a war zone. But again, there was no Voss maybe to create something, reinforce positive vibes. I don't know. It was just what I saw, what I heard. Yeah. Well, here we are, boys.
Vote. Yeah, vote.
Votes. Yeah. This has been on record our longest, definitely double our longest episode ever. So thank you all for
thanks for sticking with us.
Mate, there's still 150 plus. You guys are absolute legends, honestly.
They're like us, bro. They're depressed like us. They're angry like us. They love the club like us.
Thank you all. Appreciate you all. Hit the like button if you haven't done so yet. Chuck your 1, 2, and 3 in the votes. I might kick it off. I'll go. I was going to give one just as a joke because yesterday was a bit of a farce. I was going to give one to Boyd as a joke for 60 minutes with no touches, right? But I won't. I'll give one to Akers. I felt like actually no. I'll give my one to Akers. This has been a difficult one. I know my 3's obvious, but
it's very obvious.
One to Akers. He ran and battled all day, and I felt like he didn't stop trying where others did. I'm going to give my 2 to Cowan because I felt like in a team that was and a defense that was under siege, he stood up in some moments, and he can't be the whipping boy for what happened yesterday. So he tried, he battled. It wasn't a lack of effort. He took a couple of intercept marks and at least tried something from defense as well. So I'll give that to Cowan. And 3, Kennedy. I think he was the only standout from yesterday, where he should never be sub. I can't have Kennedy as sub for me. But 33 touches, 10 contested. He worked all day. Yes, his polish is not always there and whatnot, but it's not for want of trying. And I feel like at the end of the day, when there was all hope was lost, he's still in there battling. So, yeah. Carl, and I'll share a few.
You can share a few.
H, 3 Acres, 2 Kennedy, 1 Cripper. I don't know how far up. I've got to scroll here. Morris, 3 Kennedy, 2 Crips, 1 Acres. Only Carlton. Some great video today, by the way.
Awesome video.
Great video.
Shout out Only Carlton, boy.
Definitely check him out on the socials. 3 Kennedy, 2 Acres, 1 Crips. AJ, Holland's 1, Cowan 2P, Crips, no matter what, the man bleeds blue, absolutely does. Petra Khan, 3 Kennedy, 2 Acres, 1 Newman. Oz, 1 Acres, 2 Crips, 3 Kennedy. Peter Pez, 3 Kennedy, 2 Mackay, 1 Blake. And Brandon, 3 Kennedy, 2 Acres, 1 Elijah Hollands. Carl?
Can you give negative votes? Minus?
Go for
it. My vote's exactly like Only Carlton. Crips 1, 2 Acres, and 3 to Kennedy. It's just a shit show, boys. It was fucked, man. was so confident all week. Me and George were so confident at the game.
It was doing my head in, man. It was doing my head in.
You know what? That was probably the only game I've been so confident all year. Fuck, it was-
Can I ask why were you confident?
I don't fucking know. I'm fucking stupid.
Because I was like, I even messaged you boys. I'm like, how are you so confident? Like what have we done in the last month and a half that makes you?
You said it. You credit to you, Andy. You actually said it. Not just you messaged it, but you actually said it on the preview, right? And I for me it was like I mentioned. It was the fourth quarter against the Pies, and I thought we'd go in. We know what's at stake. I didn't even mention the 160th anniversary and the heritage and all that kind of stuff in the bubble. Yeah, they're a curse now. But I just thought with the occasion, it's not a blockbuster time slot. I feel like we do okay in those Sunday games. In recent times, maybe last year we got all those Sunday slot games. We were doing well, but I felt like we're gonna get this win, and we're gonna have a mini run into the finals. But geez, it quickly evaporated after the first two goals. Not before the injuries. Take the injuries out of it.
Yeah.
Before the injuries. So you can say that injuries. Of course, injuries play a part, right? When you got no bench, no rotations in the fourth quarter, Hawks are just having fun with you, right? What a luxury! Bring on Bruce. 4 touches, 2 goals. He can do what you want, right? And Hawthorn, had it not been for a bit of wayward kicking, mate, it would have been a 3-figure loss.
It would have been 100 points. Yeah.
But for me, injuries aside, it was the first 2 goals that set the tone. After the second goal, that was the big dent for me. And then it was the Charlie in the second quarter, the brain fade that was the one.
That was the one. Andy?
Yeah, I mean, everyone's pretty much got the same votes, just maybe in different orders. Crippo 1, Akers 2, and Kennedy 3. Kennedy's a star. Kennedy does not get the love that he deserves from our coaching staff.
Never should be sub.
It's very disrespectful that he is our go-to sub. I think he's a super sub. Don't get me wrong, but
need him on the ground.
I think he's good enough to be on the ground. I think he's more than good enough to be on the ground all the time. So,
yep.
I don't know, boys. That was rough. It was a rough watch, and I want to give a shout out to everybody who stayed at the game. I totally get if you left. I'm not, for the first time ever, if you left, I don't even blame you. That was horrid. But to those who are like us, who are a bit twisted in the head, who like the pain, who like to sit there and listen to that final siren, listen to the opposition song, and just fucking curse on the way out. Good on yous. Well done. We're in this together, yeah? At the end of the day, we're all in this together. So,
and
yeah,
it's a very good call out. And I think leaving the ground, actually, we haven't given kudos to Hawks. Hawks play such a crazy brand of footy, right? They're not just all on momentum. They just don't care.
Sam Mitchell is
the confidence of, like I said, torping at 80 meters out of defense and just running rings.
I can't wait to hear this story. I don't know the story, but I can't wait to watch Jumper Punch tomorrow night.
Jumper Punch.
Make sure you tune into the Jumper Punch.
Absolutely, tune in, and of course, TJP live show 31st of August. If you haven't got around, get around all the Jumper Punch socials. Tune into the boys tomorrow night. Can't wait to hear that.
I just want to give a quick story. Sorry, bro.
Yeah, go for it.
Just before halftime, I'd seen enough. I was like, I'm going in the rooms. I need water. I went in the rooms and I grabbed my water and I'm walking back out and I see Mars walk in. And Mars has smoke coming out of his ears. And he just unloads. He just fucking vents. And I start venting. And then a couple of the Carlton staff come up to us. They're like, boys, please settle down. Mars is like, fucking. We just fucking. And we just, both of us, just absolutely yelling. We're just, if you walk past us, you would have thought we were arguing with each other. because we were looking at each other, pointing, and we're just like, "What the fuck? What the fuck?" We both got it off our chests, and then I found out that the boys were escorted out of the field. So
Nice.
can't wait to hear the story tomorrow night.
Security, man. They bloody, for showing a bit of passion. We care, man. It's like people tell you, there's nothing worse than it's just a game. I hate that sentence. I hate that sentence. Get out of here with that.
I've broken up with women for saying that. Just saying
that and how some fans can just whatever. They're there for the good times and they don't stick fat and it's just whatever. Yeah, we're losing. That's fine. Whatever, and not get worked up about it. I can't. I don't know how like we always joke about it and we say these guys determine our friggin' happiness for the weekend or the week ahead. Unfortunately, I don't. If there's a way I can remove that, help me. I can't do it. Unfortunately, the result, like I wake up in the morning after. How shit is it waking up in the morning after? It's the first thing I think about. My eyes open. I look at the ceiling. Fuck.
That meme.
We lost.
That gift. That guy with the blanket.
Literally.
It's lots of love to the chat though, and night for everyone dropping off. John Knight, I saw your messages there as well. Hit the like button if you haven't already, guys. A bit of a shout out to Hawks fans. From what I saw, anyway, during the game, after the game, nowhere near as feral as Pie fans. Right? They were actually quite humble. They were actually
they were quiet.
They were. I think they were just. They felt sorry for us. Yeah. The walk. Carl, from your car when I was walking to the station, I just passed sea of Hawks fans, and they just looked like they felt bad. Like it was silence. Like they weren't even overly celebrating their face or anything. And look, good on them, man. Like how G'd up would you be if you're a Hawks fan now? You were in the abyss last year. And now you've won. You've had an insane streak, and
we know how they feel. Yeah, that was us last year. Except we were 7 years into a rebuild there too.
Yeah. So credit to them. I can't knock them. I only know a handful of Hawks fans, but from yesterday, they were pleasant. They were pleasant, and it was a bit of banter and whatnot, but there's no, shithousery like we were copping from. And again, like that's what footy's about, the banter and whatnot, right? But there's also just being absolute pricks about it, like calling it like the girl yelling in our face and calling us dogs and telling us to keep walking. But
Collingwood fans are just bottom of the barrel filth. Yeah. That's what I call them. Just lower than shark shit they are.
Yeah. Literally our longest ever stream, and I can't thank you guys
so much for sticking with us tonight, guys.
I think we actually hit record numbers. No joke. Yeah.
I don't think we stayed on a single topic for longer than 30 seconds. But I appreciate you guys sticking it out with us, especially so late on a Monday night.
Oh, fuck, I got work in the morning, man. I got to get ready. It's been an absolute pleasure, boys.
I reckon,
as always.
Just an absolute pleasure.
Just quickly, Georgie, I think
you go.
I think you've got a sponsor to shout out.
Yes, absolutely, as always, yeah. And I was going to say really quickly, Scotty Tompkins, 2 more hours. I will tell you something.
I've got another 4 hours of content in this fucking brain.
We could go. We could keep going, right? Absolutely. But I'll tell you what. If the unthinkable happens against West Coast, I've got Monday off. I've got next Monday off.
I'm taking Tuesday off.
I've already got next Monday. I've got annual leave next Monday. If the unthinkable happens, I'll go as long as you want to. But I will. It will be a 4-hour episode. Oh, jeez.
I'm in.
Message me privately. I'll give you the number.
Hey, I don't know if you want to do that tonight with that, and if he's anyway, moving on from that. But hey, thank you to everyone in the chat, and again, a big thank you to our sponsor, BluesCrypto.com. Whether you're a seasoned investor, whether you're new to investing, check out BluesCrypto.com. The man behind it, Ulrich Koken, holds Ask Me Anything sessions Wednesday nights, 9 p.m. All the socials are available through BluesCrypto.com, X, Telegram. They're all also in our video description. So it's an awesome and innovative way to connect with your team whilst also being part of the cryptocurrency market. He's got some really exciting things going on. Blues Crypto Gym, Blues Crypto Restaurant, really great things for Ord and the team. Thank you for getting around us. Please check out BluesCrypto.com. Boys, it's been a ride.
It has been a ride.
As always.
Thanks again to everybody for sticking with us. Hit the like button on your way out.
Love you guys.
And you know what? Stick fat. There's 2 more games.
If we lose next week, we cut sick.
If we lose next week, we'll go on to Princess Park and we'll burn nothing. No one's doing anything.
Stick fat. We're gonna
Stick fat. 2 more games. We're still a chance. Let's see how we go.
That's it.
Catch you guys.
Have a good night, guys.
It's again now.